shit because he is within driving distance, right?
Yeah.
So then, Kev, this is how nutty he is, and I don't want to keep you too long. But he starts getting crazier and crazier and crazier. So yes, again, you can say you were right, and I'll admit you were right. But he goes, "Get your biker gang ready. You have no idea." Then he goes, and I said, because I was talking to the Tampa police. As we text, he goes, "Hi, Tampa police, he's doing you." And then he goes, "John, you messed up. You messed with the wrong dude."
We were just
Then
watching MLC over here, guys. Hi, YouTube. We were watching MLC. I guess now they're
then he goes,
rehashing
this is what Adam,
fucking bonkers.
This Chad Zumach thing. John is pressing charges and getting a restraining order on Chad Zumach. It's fucking nuts.
Yeah, but he has more integrity than you, Bob. He's got more integrity than his pinky.
He was just screaming it at him 5 minutes ago. And now he's like, "Adam's a stand-up guy. I can vouch for him, Bob." Jesus Christ. This is insane.
First he says, I live in a shit house. And he goes,
he's spinning in circles. He's turning on people so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an idiot. He said, I read his tweet yesterday. He said, you had been playing him the whole time. It's like, how he offered you the money. The only thing he was trying to do was fuck with me. He wanted you to.
All right, that's enough of that. Wow-y. Fun stuff going on over here. Hey, how's it going, YouTube? Can everyone hear us okay? Let's do a check real quick. Can you guys hear this?
Please clap.
Is that coming through? Oh, yeah, I know. They were going to snipe us, but now they have John on their show. I don't know if they're going to. They might change directions. All right. Yep. Clap is on there. Very good. Very good.
I wonder how much they had to pay him this time.
Well, I think this time it's nothing because John was super chatting them to send him a link because he was getting pissed off at the show while he was watching. This has been a weird 3 weeks. Wow. I tried to keep up. I went on John's show today and tried to keep up with what was going on, but it's a lot. All right. That's cool. Let's do our show. Let's do Who Are These Podcasts? What do you guys think about that?
Maybe.
All right. Everything seems to be
I don't
working.
really want to anymore.
Oh, come on.
I know. It's like recess is over. We have to. Okay.
I know. We're all just out here like cracking up to MLC. It's like, all right.
Open your books.
Now I
page.
got to read my book report over here. I got so many fucking clips today.
Well, guys, hold on. I think I just heard the bell. Yep. It's time for us to start the podcast now. So that's what we have to do. Sorry.
So you work for Carl, eh?
If you don't think this is funny, then you're stupid. It's funny.
You're my guest. Make money. I don't care. I don't care. I'm happy for you.
Okay. All right.
You're not going to give me a vig at least?
See, I knew you'd turn.
Episode 427.
Are you a boner guy?
Oh, I was a boner guy.
What a dick. You know what? I miss penis.
What are you talking about?
I'm the one who should apologize.
Cuz-a-roo.
Slap-a-rooney.
It's showtime.
WATP.
WATP.
Hello, Rubbernecks and Cuzzaroos. Welcome to another episode of Who Are These Podcasts, the only show brought to you by David Chandler. I'm your host, Carl. With me today, it wouldn't be a Whip 'em Out Wednesday without him. From the All Apologies podcast, Trucker Andy's here.
Hey, let's talk shit.
Please go to whoarethese.com, get our email address, voicemail number, link to the subreddit, link to the Discord server, link to our merchandise, link to our YouTube channel, and the link to Patreon and Supercast featuring 2 exclusive bonus episodes every single month. And now you can become a member on YouTube like Brooks Robinson just did. Thank you, Brooks. Become a member on YouTube. You also get the bonus content that we put out, and you can watch the live shows like we're doing right now. They're normally behind the paywall on Tuesdays or Wednesdays and Saturdays. But today we're doing a special one. We have a special show lined up for you today. Tickets are on sale for the Magic Bag Friday, September 15th. WATPlive.com is where you can get your tickets to come see us live at the Magic Bag in Ferndale, right outside of Detroit, Michigan. Also, we encourage our listeners to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you review podcasts, and then shit all over us in the comment section. Now, this episode is going to be a little different than usual. We are live. Super chats are welcome. However, we might not get to them until the end. In the second hour, 6 o'clock, Shuli, Egar, and Bryan Johnson square off for the first time ever. These two have never talked to each other before. Also, we have Opie with Zumach, Stuttering John. We have a lot to talk about today. But first, we'll be reviewing a show called Oversharing with Trish and Colleen. This was a suggestion from Brandon. We have both listened separately. We have not discussed it with each other beforehand. Let's get it started. This is a show hosted by Trisha Paytas and Colleen Ballinger. And Trisha Paytas, we've reviewed before. She's a YouTuber. I have no idea why she's famous.
Right.
I can't figure out what talent she has.
I was going to ask you, like, who the fuck is
Can
this?
I tell you? So I restarted my computer earlier and I run some updates. And I got on my phone, and the first thing I did is I opened up a browser and I typed in, why is Trisha Paytas famous? This is a search that's been done many times. I'm not the first person to search this. There's a lot of answers on Google that explain what's going on with that. So it's still a mystery, but I did read up on it a little bit. Now let's talk about Colleen Ballinger.
Yeah.
Now she has just recently been on an apology tour.
Oh, you don't say. I just put an episode out about that.
And we covered it on Who Are These Socials
Yep.
with myself and my buddy Blind Mike. So the way I want to start this off, because what these two teamed up to do a podcast together, Oversharing. It lasted 3 episodes.
Right.
It is done. They are donezo with each other. And so I want to start off by explaining what happened, the fallout here. All right. So I have E Entertainment, E News is going to help us understand what's going on. They ran a story about it. Because I think this will add more context to the clips that we're going to play once we understand what's happening here.
I think that's so inhumane. I think that's so disgusting for anyone.
Trisha Paytas is responding to allegations surrounding YouTuber Colleen Ballinger. In a 21-minute YouTube video uploaded by Trisha on July 3rd, the content creator addresses accusations from one of Colleen's former fans who claims that the YouTuber sent explicit photos and videos of Trisha from her OnlyFans account to him in order to make fun of the social media personality. The former fan posted unverified screenshots to his Twitter of alleged interactions between him and Colleen, claiming she would host viewing parties to make fun of Trisha.
Okay,
Now,
first off, if that's true, that's the funniest thing Colleen's ever done. That's fucking hilarious. Trisha has an OnlyFans. I don't know why. I don't know who's looking at that. That seems repugnant.
Right.
I'm wildly confused about this whole OnlyFans world. So if Colleen, because they're best buds on the show, as you're going to hear,
Seemingly.
if Colleen is goofing on her and having viewing parties of her shitty OnlyFans stuff behind her back, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Colleen, come on, my
Hilarious.
you can be my co-host tomorrow. If you're doing shit like that, that's fucking hilarious.
It
That's
seems
next
like they
level.
were doing a lot of shit like that.
Yeah, that's amazing. All right, this goes on.
Trisha is responding, condemning the alleged behavior.
I do not condone at all unsolicited nudes sending.
And let me point this out too, because one of the things I learned about when I was Googling Trisha is that she's a trans man. But then, yeah, I know. It doesn't make any sense. I'm like, wait, what? Because
I don't
she's
think so.
looking to get pregnant right now, and she has
a
kid.
baby.
But they said that in 2019 she became a trans man, but she didn't change her pronouns.
This is all maddening
Yes,
to understand.
I
I've been
know.
trying to understand it for a week, and a lot of what goes on between these personalities
Yeah,
is shit starting drama, shit starting.
Yeah.
And it's a cottage industry, and
I
people
wouldn't know
just-
anything about that.
Yeah, right. But they're just they don't even try to be funny about it though. They're just
Oh,
like
they're not funny.
throwing shit at each other.
Yeah, okay.
It's not even that funny.
That's anyone of anybody, sex worker or not. I think using someone's nudes as
Miss Piggy in
a way
human
to hurt
form.
them
Right.
Andrew Zodiac.
You ruined my punchline.
Oh, damn it. Sorry. Good
is
job, Andrew.
the lowest form of human, the lowest form of intelligence. I think that's so inhumane. I think that's so disgusting for
Yeah,
anyone.
we got it. She's goofing on your nudes. Yeah, it's annoying.
Take forever to say this.
Yeah, I know. It's like I actually was offended by that one. Well, yeah, I would be
was
too.
offended when I saw you naked.
Yeah, I mean, I was sharing ski mask nudes and goofing on him, but that's different. You know, we're friends. All right, so there's more to this, of course, because Colleen is in her own thing that's going on outside of even this.
Right. Trisha was already like well hated around the internet before any of this Colleen stuff started boiling over.
Oh,
In
I was one of
addition
those
to the
people, yeah.
allegations
Yeah.
involving Colleen and Trisha, Ballinger, who is known for her alter ego Miranda Sings, has denied other accusations of grooming and forming inappropriate relationships with underage fans. In a musical vlog posted to YouTube on June 28th, Miranda refuted the claims.
All aboard the toxic gossip train, chugging down the tracks of misinformation. The toxic gossip train.
I don't know how you can argue with this.
Pretty good apology.
The 36-year-old goes on to explain how, in an attempt to, quote, be besties with everybody, she would send messages to fans earlier in her career.
I've been sharing my life out to you, and because of that I feel like I'm talking to my friends. But in the beginning of my career, I didn't really understand that maybe there should be some boundaries there. There were times in the DMs when I would overshare details of my life, which was really weird of me. I haven't done that for years, you see, because I changed my behavior and I took accountability.
While she concedes to making what she calls jokes in poor taste in her response video, Colleen denies ever sending inappropriate messages to underage fans with the intention of grooming them.
The only thing I've ever groomed is my 2 Persian cats. I'm not a groomer. I'm just a loser who didn't understand I shouldn't respond to fans, and I'm not a predator, even though a lot of you think so.
I have to say, because I watched a lot of this video we did on WATS.
Right.
And a lot of her response is, look, have I done really shitty things? Yeah, of course I have. But, you know, what are you going to do? It's like, well, that's not a good explanation for anything. You're admitting guilt, but not giving any details at all. Like, well, I mean, should people be pissed at me? Yeah, I would imagine.
But I got a ukulele.
Yeah. So that was a weird song. That was a whole weird thing that she was doing. Anyway, so there's 2 things at play here. They had a falling out because apparently Colleen was sharing Trisha's OnlyFans nudes and goofing on her. But at the same time, she's got this controversy where she was doing very inappropriate things with underage fans because she's been a YouTube celebrity for 15 years and it does live shows and has inappropriate relations with some of the people at the live shows and you name it. I don't know what's going on. Just seems like a lot. So, Andy, you got some videos. Here's the deal. They put out 3 episodes.
Right.
They got 3 episodes in, and then this whole falling out happened. So it's gone. They took it off YouTube. It was a YouTube show.
Right.
And you can't find the video for it. I have the audio. Thank you, Cardiff, for sending that to me. So I have a few clips from a couple of different episodes of this show that I want to share. But I think it's probably best to start with a YouTube clip or 2.
Great.
Because you found someone reacting to their show that's still up.
Yeah, somebody kind of did what we do to one of their episodes, and I just
cease and desist.
I clipped around it, so I stole some of their content. I should probably give them credit, but I'm not going to.
Oh.
But let's kick it off with
Tried.
clip number 15. This is the clip that sums up the show for me.
Here's his tweet. This is him. It's on NBC Timeless.
What's his name?
It doesn't even say.
Hinckley.
Oh yeah,
Jr. John. Why does that not even sound familiar? Why would I not remember that? Even if I just read it and I don't remember
Everyone's like,
that.
hey, to tell you what, you're perfect in this role. Is he a Twitter person? Sorry, not to make this whole thing
not.
about.
No,
he's over. He's not a social media person.
No, he hasn't posted in bajillion years. He never looks at social media.
That's right. That's the best way to be.
So they're both dressed up like workout Barbie.
Right.
They're both on their phones, not looking at each other, blithering about Broadway shit that barely anybody knows about.
Yeah.
That's most of the show.
But isn't John Hinckley Jr. the guy who shot Reagan?
Yeah.
Isn't that what they're talking about? Like, I don't know who that person is. You don't? Oh, that's kind of famous.
Yeah. Sounded vaguely familiar.
So let me play the intro, and this is the audio part of it.
Great.
But they're very excited. You notice they're both wearing blonde wigs. I don't know what it is. We just did the blonde cast.
Yeah.
When a woman dyes her hair blonde, she loses her fucking mind. As soon as you have blonde hair, it's the craziest shit that's ever happened to you.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Oversharing. You're a permanent blonde.
Episode. Oh my God, I'll never be brunette again. What is
Crazy.
going on?
I mean, every character you have is blonde. Like if we do Glinda, you're
Oh
blonde.
my God, what's happening?
Yeah, you're becoming. You just look blonde.
I'm just
now.
a blonde person. I've never seen myself as a blonde.
I love it.
This is
It's
bananas.
so fun. It's so fun.
I'm so
You're like
excited.
a different person. Welcome back to Oversharing.
Oversharing
with Colleen and Trish.
Yes.
They're so fucking obnoxious. That's the way the show starts.
Is this episode 3?
That was episode 3.
Okay, because
I know you checked that out.
I listened to the beginning of episode 1 too.
Yeah,
and it's just a barrage of talking. I don't know how you can even listen to it, let alone talk that fast.
Right,
it's crazy, and
they're
just
crazy.
like,
They're so manic. The energy is so manic.
Yeah, and they're rushing to just say what they want to say over each other, and it's impossible to keep up with.
Well, I'll be honest. I was intrigued by this because of the backstory.
Yeah.
Oh, it only lasted 3 episodes. They had this whole falling out. That's fun. But then listen to it, like, this is the craziest shit I've ever heard. I was not ready for this. I was not prepared. I don't like Trisha. I've heard her before with Ethan Klein, but I was not prepared for this. These two are terrible together.
No. Yeah.
They feed each other. I don't know if they're both on coke or they're both on meth, or if one's on coke, the other's on meth. I haven't figured that out yet, that interplay.
Yeah.
But wow, there's some uppers involved for sure. That I can tell you. Go ahead, Andy. What do you got?
Sure. And number 9, this is Trisha is unhinged, let's say.
Yeah.
She thinks that posting or doing a video with a cardboard cutout of, say, Brad Pitt or a Keanu Reeves is going to somehow make those actors, A-list celebrity actors, interested in dating her.
Yeah. There's a lot of talk about manifesting things. It's a lot of vision boards going on in this, and that's part of this.
And I'm being dead serious when I really thought that was a thing. And that's why I think I did it with the Keanu Reeves cardboard cutout too. And I thought, like, if they see this, because they were single, I'd always make sure they were single. I'm like, if they see this, they might want to date me. But I still feel that way.
That could be
you know?
true. That could be true. But like, I love that you think that.
Yeah. And I'm like putting my life
Do
on
you
pause
still
for
think
that.
that about certain people, about certain things? Well, White Lotus, you're hoping that you'll be on White Lotus.
In my head, I think, like, in the back of my head, like, can I just keep talking about it? Like, maybe. And then I can go on the talk shows, like go on Jimmy Fallon. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I just put it out.
I can't believe that's the regular speed.
I know.
Exactly.
If you're listening to this sped up, if that's the way you normally listen to who are these podcasts, you got to bring it down. You got to bring it down to 1x, because this is insane how quickly these women make their points. So what she is saying is she was watching the show White Lotus.
Right.
And she decided, I want to be on that show. She has 0 acting credentials.
Oh, yeah. I looked at her IMDb. She has 37 credits. One of them is a show I never heard of.
Yeah.
And she probably had 2 lines. Everything else is like video bullshit.
Right. So she has nothing to do with Hollywood or anything like that. But she thinks she's going to be cast in White Lotus. She even said at one point that she was holding off on getting pregnant because just in case White Lotus called, she wanted to make sure that she could go on there. But now she's decided that she will get pregnant anyway, and they'll just work it into the script.
So wanting to be on a TV show is one thing, but like to be like, maybe this celebrity will see this and then marry me.
No, I know.
Like,
I really thought that was going to be a path. But anyways, we're trying to get pregnant. I'm like, whatever. If White Lotus calls me, maybe they can write it into my character that I'm pregnant or something. And I give birth in Thailand. I'm in my 3rd trimester giving birth in Thailand.
It's just part of the episode. Like,
so what's crazy about that is I thought she said, you know what? We decided let's just get pregnant anyway because I'm not going to get on White Lotus season 3. That's what she should have said.
I've got all my eggs in this White Lotus basket.
Instead, she goes, you know what? We will get pregnant because I'll just be pregnant on White Lotus.
Oh, yeah. I'll just make Mike White rewrite the whole series around my pregnancy.
It'll be fine.
That
I'm
makes
sure that'll be easy as
complete
hell.
sense, Trisha.
So what's crazy about this is the foreshadowing that's going on during the show. They're constantly talking about how long is this show going to last? I can't believe we're doing 3. I can't believe we're on episode 3 already. And when episode 2 starts, I'm like, I can't believe this is our 2nd episode. Who starts a podcast and is shocked got to episode 2?
Yeah, right.
Never heard of such a thing. But listen to the manic energy here.
Like with us, I was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's just make it happen.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and we're like, let's do it. And then once it started happening, I was like, well, it'll probably never happen. It's not going to happen. And we'll never do any episodes and we'll never do it again.
Yeah. It took me a minute to get going on this because I didn't know either. I was like, okay, is this like, am I going to like get excited and then it's not going to happen, or that you're not serious about it? And then I'm like a stupid person. And I'm just like, oh my God, we started this. And you're like, no, I was just kidding, Trish. I wasn't being serious. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm so.
Jesus Christ, get confident, stupid. What are you doing with this?
And I'm listening to this. What is that Sony commercial where the guy's sitting in the chair listening to the audio and it's just like blowing him out of his chair? That's what I feel like.
Dude, the Micro Machines guy can't touch this. He's like, what? Slow down. What are you talking about? It's fucking insane. So this is an example here where this is some interesting foreshadowing now that we know what happened with them.
Look, it's another episode though. We're doing it.
Yes. Oh my God.
We're doing
3.
so many. This is way more than I ever thought at the beginning.
It's funny because they're doing it like it's cute. Like, can you believe it? We've done 3. It's like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
that's all you'll ever do, by the way. Just FYI, in case you were
Imagine
wondering.
where we're going to go from here.
Court.
All right. So let's talk about the way episode 2 starts. It starts with a trigger warning. And I didn't know that you had to warn people about this.
Trigger warning. This episode does contain talk about body image, weight, and weight loss.
Talk about weight loss is a trigger?
Oh,
that's a trigger warning.
Come on,
now?
you know Ash is triggered by talking about weight loss.
I mean, people lose weight. It happens. Holy shit, that's insane to me. Okay, so this is the way that the episode starts up after the trigger warning. Now we all know there's could be some talk of weight loss. Everybody, our numbers are dropping. Oh no! Oh, weight loss! Oh! All right. So they just can't believe they're recording a second episode of a podcast.
Welcome back.
I love that that's the beginning of the episode. You're just going,
well, we didn't know. We didn't know if we'd be here.
I know. I'm so excited.
There was so much controversy. It's one episode. Colleen thinks it's 1. Trisha thinks it's 20.
I know. Everyone was like, oh, Colleen, you only think it's 1. Trish put so much work into this. And I was like, no, this is how I prepare myself for the worst case scenario. I'm like, I just assume the worst case scenario. That way when it happens, if it happens, I'm like, well, I knew it's going to never happen again. So it's fine.
I assume best case.
That's interesting because they talk about manifesting things. And Colleen is always assuming that it's going to be her downfall every day. And lo and behold, here we are. Colleen, maybe think some more positive thoughts up there in that noggin of yours because I don't know what's going to happen with her, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be good. That video that we were playing, the E! News report where she was singing that song, she started that off by saying, all of my attorneys have told me not to do this.
Yeah, right.
But what are you doing? They're on your team, idiots. What are you doing right now? This is not going to help you in any single way. That she makes a cutesy little song like, I didn't rape that boy, or maybe I did, but he was into it. Like, this is not a good response to these allegations.
Your legal team has vanished.
So it's fucking stupid. All right, Andy, back to you. Let's watch some more video of these idiots.
Yeah. And clip 20, this just like you were saying, there's a lot of foreshadowing in these episodes. And clip 20 here, she kind of brings up a strange memory from her childhood.
I think it's really weird that so many grown men were telling me as a young girl that I was used goods if anyone ever did. That's
it's coming from guys.
Really weird.
Oh, that's even
youth
worse.
pastors and things, you know.
Oh, youth pastors. We're grooming you. Well, at least you learned from the best.
Yeah, right. Who is this pastor? Is it the girls? Gross. But he was ostracized right away by them.
Yeah. Well, I kind of want to put this on hold because I know we have a lot to get to today.
Sure.
And this other thing that I found is just so much crazier and funnier.
Mukbang?
This is the mukbang video, which I think would kind of set the table for the podcast.
Okay.
So what we're going to see here is I didn't even know what mukbang was. Did you?
I am familiar.
All right. Because I was trying to spell it and autocorrect is it's spelled like this, asshole. You're the only one that doesn't get it.
Andy, I don't know if you know this, but I'm a YouTuber and internet e-celeb. Okay. So I know what mukbang means. Duh. Obviously. No. So that was one of the things when I was looking up why Trisha was famous. Mukbang videos is one of the reasons why she's famous. Which
that makes perfect sense.
It makes perfect sense. It's where you watch people eat food, and if they're fat slobs, even better.
Yeah. Because when I was like, what the fuck is mukbang? And it was that Andy kid from Serial Killers.
Yeah.
That was the first thing that popped up. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, that's what
I get it.
Alex Stein came on my show and he's like, I like these mukbang videos, and stupid Tony Michaels with this drive-through videos took out all the parts people want to see.
Yeah, right.
He's like, all right, here's the food, here's a burger, and then fast forward to that was good.
Right. So anybody that doesn't know, it's basically just eating a shit ton of food on camera, right? So in clip 1, Trish shows up to Colleen's house with a giant box of McDonald's, and it's the most disgusting thing you ever saw. Look how fast.
Hey guys, the day is here. Trisha Paytas, the queen herself, is in my house, and we're doing another mukbang.
McDonald's mukbang.
I am so excited. Okay, so you guys have been asking for this. I've been wanting this. I hope Trisha's been wanting this. She's here now.
But you're so busy. You have twins. You have a.
You're so busy too, new mom. So okay.
Excited Tubby is to eat.
I know, right?
It's like, is there anything?
It's like, wait a second, weren't there 8 bags just a minute ago? And now there's 6.
1 for you, 2 for me, 3 for you, 4 for me.
But is there anything less annoying than 2 people that can't get enough of each other? Like, oh, I'm a Bob, you're a Bob. Oh my god, shut the fuck up. It's just like,
well, they're putting
who
it.
cares?
So the part of the problem is they're putting it on. Yeah. Obviously, this is not how anyone behaves in their life. You can't possibly behave like this. Which is what's so obnoxious about it. Be yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Just be who you are instead of this fucking, hey, we're on camera right now. We're on YouTube. Look at us, we're YouTubers. Oh my God. Is that an onion? Whoa.
It's like high school reunion energy.
Yes. Oh, that's a good point. Yes. Where you don't want to be there.
No, you don't want to talk to certain
people. You
people.
don't want to talk to people.
But you end up doing it.
And you got to get it over with.
And you overdo it.
Well, maybe if I talk really fast, I'll get this over with faster.
Yeah.
No, I've been up to nothing. What have you been up to? Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
All right, this isn't even the craziest shit, but in clip 3, I think this is Trish trying to be relatable. And she wants you to know she's an ignoramus that wants to eat 3 pounds of garbage.
That's the secret about being a mom is you know nothing. Like, right. That's it. Like I think like moms just you know nothing and you have to figure it out.
I'm glad you say that because so many people come for me and like she knows nothing about being a mom. Like, yeah, I know.
That's what being a mom is. Like you know nothing. Even if you think you know everything, like you know nothing.
Yeah.
Like something throws a curveball at you and you're like, oh my God. Like so anyway.
Yeah.
Trisha, I was like, she was like, I'll pick up food. And I was like, okay. Wow. She did. She picked up food.
This audio is fucking killing me too. Can they fucking mic them a little bit better? Holy shit, the treble is through the roof and it's just echoing around this giant fucking room.
These poor fucking kids.
Dude,
being raised by these 2.
Stuttering John sounds better on his show than these 2 idiots. All right, keep the mukbang going because I want to see what they ordered here.
Oh, okay. Because this gets real fucking wild. Miss Piggy.
This gets wild.
Mukbang. Woo!
So Miss Piggy wants to know if Pedo edits her show. So you're not going to show me eating a McChicken sandwich, so McChicken between 2 Big Macs, right? I call it the Big Trish.
What's this for?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I want to know everything. I'm so excited.
You edit, right?
Mm-hmm. I probably won't edit it this much.
No, you don't. I mean,
like, that's
to.
the joy of these. Is that like it feels like you're just sitting and hanging out and like
no, for sure. I got nervous. I really haven't seen anybody in so long, so I like forget to socialize. Like I stutter now. I have like a stutter. It's really weird. I'm very awkward. I'm more awkward than I used to be. So
that's how I feel too. I feel like I have a really hard time with eye contact. I'm like, are you staring at their eyeballs? Like I forgot how to be.
No, I'm the same way. I'm the same way.
So she has a stutter now? She's a 30-pack away from being Stuttering John. They should go on a date. John's on Bumble! Because he's a bumbling fool.
That would actually be a perfect relationship, those 2.
Yeah.
I think that would work out well.
All right. I'm just gonna fire through these.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. And so I actually got hungry seeing all the food come out. Mm-hmm. So I made a roast beef sandwich, and that was a big mistake. Clip 5.
Oh no.
Like in the moment, obviously, it was painful.
Yeah, the vaginal, I'm gonna say like
oh,
I never
pause
had
it real
vaginal
quick.
birth, but
they're talking about their childbirth. This is all about C-sections and how their birthing events went.
Like in the moment, obviously, it was painful.
Yeah, the vaginal, I'm gonna say like I never had vaginal birth, but as someone who had a C-section, I'm like kind of relieved that it was a C-section because I don't know. It was hard to recover with stitches there. Yeah. I couldn't imagine when you were talking to me about all your stitches and how they ripped it, and I was just like, I couldn't go through it.
Well, my stitches situation down below with my vaginal birth it was like one of the worst case scenarios.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God, this McRib is so good.
Yeah, they're eating food.
Anyway, I sneezed so hard that my uterus fell out.
I can't wait for my anal birth later on.
Oh, is that my fallopian tube? My bad. Hold on. Let me tuck
Not again.
Let me tuck that back in and we'll continue eating these burgers.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
Clip 6. This is the clip that made me want to nominate Trish for Mother of the Year.
It was so painful. I was
So
shocked.
awful.
I didn't think it was going to be that painful.
Yeah.
Did
you take pain meds?
Yeah, I did.
I didn't want to take them because I didn't want to be because I was addicted to opioids in the past. I'm I'm not going to take them. I don't want to get addicted to them because when I was in the hospital, I was so out of it those first 2 days that I didn't even know where my daughter was. So I was I'm not going to take pain medication when I get home. And it was I couldn't even stand up. I was just
that was the only way I could survive. I needed them. I couldn't believe that. Did you even take Advil or anything?
No, I literally just I just suffered and cried. Well, I thought it was gonna be a piece of cake. I had liposuction, I had a BBL, I had breast implants. I'm this is gonna be no, but honestly, no. I just was suffering, and I was this is what it is. I was more scared to get addicted to pills and drop her or something, because in the hospital, I didn't even know where she was. I was just I don't know what's happening.
So you didn't take drugs because you were worried of what or if you take the drugs, you might drop your kid.
Right.
But when you're not on the drugs, you don't even know where your kid is.
Yeah, that was confusing. Was she talking about when she was in the hospital for a drug problem earlier?
No, she was talking about giving birth to her kid. Yeah.
What in the hell is going on here?
And do you hear that she's oh, I got lipo and a Brazilian butt lift and all this. I'd hate to see the fucking before photo.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm this doctor's keep my fucking name out your mouth.
Yeah.
I don't want anyone knowing I'm the one who worked on you. Holy shit. And I have to say, this is all very embarrassing things to be talking about on the internet. I can't believe that these videos led to we should do a podcast together.
Yeah.
This was a bad idea from the start, obviously. But if I ever eat fast food, I am hiding while I'm eating it. I am embarrassed by that. If I'm eating a double cheeseburger, I'm not going to be live streaming that. I probably won't even be in the restaurant. I'll be hiding in my car, getting a tint put on my windows.
Are you going to live stream it, picking it up and talking to the window clerk and then not videotape yourself eating it in the parking lot like Tony, Michael?
You guys serving happiness today? Is happiness on the menu? Sorry, that's a deep pull from a guy who used to make fun of named Tony Michaels.
All right, 2 more from this earlier, and then we'll get back to the show proper.
Okay.
So for all Colleen's haters that, that are unhappy with what she's did, take comfort in knowing that she has a blown out vagina.
Oh, that's wonderful. Is this 10?
7.
7?
Sorry.
I don't know where I am, I guess.
They don't want to I don't know if it ruins on there. He's for vanity reasons.
Is that your internet while you're recording these, or is that me?
I don't know. I think
maybe it's me. Let's see.
They don't want to I don't know if it ruins on there. He's for vanity reasons.
Oh, that's you.
No, maybe it's fucked up.
All right, guys. Super chat for Andy's internet.
It did for me.
Did it?
Yes.
So usually it goes back.
No, I guess it's on my end. It doesn't look like it's moving.
Really?
Well, it goes back.
Cunt nuggets.
All right, we'll describe the clip because I don't think it's gonna fucking play.
Oh, okay. So that's her describing her vagina tightening back up. But then she said that when they took the babies out, they shredded her vagina and the doctor stitched it back together wrong and she has to go get it fixed.
Oh no!
Yeah, she has
stitch it closed.
She has a mutilated.
Yeah, he stitched it together wrong. There's how many holes did you want? At least one. Oh shit!
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, she's I got to schedule the appointment to get my vagina fixed.
Oh no! So how is it unattractive women go on the internet, talk about how gross they are, and they're famous? What's the formula there? I'm wildly confused because I understand attractive girls going on and talking about their vaginas. I watch those videos.
Yeah,
I enjoy those. Unattractive girls going on and talking about how gross their vaginas are. I don't get it.
Well,
I'd rather watch them eat Whoppers.
I think girls like it.
Oh, okay. This is probably not for me.
Right.
Good point, Andy.
All right. So clip 8, to all the teens that had unplanned pregnancies while they were high on drugs and alcohol, Colleen thinks you're a warrior goddess.
Birthing your child out of your vagina, out of your body, and doing the work and pushing him out, and then him going on my chest. I felt like a god.
Hold on a second. My pants are getting tight over here. Whoa. Let's talk more about what's going on with your vagina again.
Going on your chest.
Birthing your child out of your vagina, out of your body, and doing the work and pushing him out, and then him going on my chest. I felt like a god. Yeah. I know it's a weird thing to say, but I felt like a warrior. It was crazy. I felt like And even if you have a C-section, you are a goddess and you are a warrior too. Like I had a C-section, you've had a C-section. Like any woman who grows a human being, like or person who grows a human being, like you're incredible. Like that's amazing.
Well, I took a tough dump once. I felt like I went through a war. Does that count?
I salute you, sir. Congratulations. That's impressive.
Thank you for my service.
All right.
All right. Well, that's everything.
These are the first women to realize that childbirth is painful. Is this news to somebody they didn't know? No one told me.
Sounds awful.
Yeah, I wish I would have known. Nobody explained to me that was the deal. All right, let's get away from this because this is fucking gross.
Yeah.
I want to play a quick game here. Quiz time, guys. You're going to hear Trish rattle off some celebrities that she'd be nervous to meet. Now, she herself is a huge celebrity, going to be on White Lotus season 3, as we know. And she is going to explain that she's not nervous around people except for these people. The quiz is, what names does she say out of her mouth? All right. Good luck.
Would you be like super starstruck if you met him in person?
I think he's the only person I don't think I could meet. There's like a few people, Gerard Way, Britney Spears. I think Alan Cumming might be up there. And Kristen Chenoweth. I just feel like inferior to them. I think they're just like, especially talented people, especially singers.
Okay. Now, two funny things here. The one that I heard was Britney Spears.
Okay.
And she goes, I get very nervous around singers. Britney Spears is not a talented singer. So you don't have to be nervous around her. You're fine. She sucks. Alan Cumming?
Yeah.
I heard. What were the, I mean,
I thought
listened to
she said Gerard Way.
Yeah. Who's that?
That's the singer from My Chemical Romance.
Oh,
but
okay.
It's not like, it's nobody's go-to for fantastic singers.
Okay. And then there was a fourth one in there too. And I have no idea.
Yeah. Some woman. I don't know.
Why does she talk like that?
She had a stroke.
It's a lot of It's a lot of Broadway references between these two. They throw a lot of Broadway actors at you that you're not familiar with.
Well, they watch some reality show about Broadway. So they're not even like into Broadway, but they just watched a TV show and they're like, oh, I know all about Broadway.
Oh, Kristen Chenoweth was the other one.
Okay.
And I mean,
who's that?
She's from Wicked. She's a like a little blonde.
That's why we bring Trucker in. He knows that shit. I don't.
I know all that Broadway shit, boys.
So obviously, this is their second episode, and people are saying, "You women are talking too fast." They're getting feedback from the listeners, and Colleen turns this into a positive somehow.
And then Rosalind said, "How fast Trish talks is how fast Colleen thinks." Perfect duo. And I love that comment so much.
I love it.
It's like literally so accurate because we do talk so fast and we talk over each other, and our topics change 24/7. Like we cannot shut up.
Yeah, all the time, even in real life.
I know. It's like it is nonstop like this. And so anyway, a lot of people mentioned that we both talk too fast or not too fast. People are saying they like it.
Yeah.
Wrong. No, that's definitely not the case at all. So I love that Colleen pays herself a compliment. She's like, she talks as fast as my brain works. Probably not. Just based on what I've seen so far, I doubt that that's the case. And then they act like people like it. You know what I heard, Andy? I heard that I have you on the show every week because it makes me seem way funnier. That's what I'm hearing. I love they just pay themselves compliments. And then so-and-so says that I'm really smart.
A lot of people are saying that.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying
Jervis.
that. Nope. All right. So more foreshadowing. They're talking about fan interaction, and they're getting suggestions on what they should do on their show, and they want to do it all.
But thank you for all the suggestions because we have so many ideas already.
Yeah,
but like
we'll
keep
do
them
all
coming.
those.
We'll do all of your ideas.
Yes.
Wrong.
It's over. as the Z-Man would say.
And then Rose.
It's over. Sorry. Sorry about that. All right, Andy, I'll get back to you because I know everyone wants to see what these two women look like.
Right. Well, speaking of what they look like, it's always a great idea for your show when you have to rely on cornball props and costumes to make it interesting.
Yes, they dress up in different costumes every episode. I should have mentioned that.
Yeah, clip 12.
Yeah, and they get very excited about it too.
Confidence. We're back in
We're
action
Barbies today.
Oh yeah,
We're workout Barbies.
We're 80s workout Barbies.
We're 80s workout Barbies. Very specific, a very niche costume today.
Yeah, I typed in Barbie costume, and this was like the first. You know what's weird? They don't have a traditional Barbie costume. Like,
no, they probably do. They just don't make the same costume in size 2 and size XXXXL.
I think it was a hint from the producer.
I like that he went from a number to a guy's size.
Yes.
Dude, XXXXL. They don't make it between 2 and Vinny. That's not how costumes work. That's pretty fucking funny. All right. What else?
All right, 13. Trish wants to know all about Colleen's auditions coming up, and Trisha can't get a role. She can't get a callback. She can't get an audition.
Oh, makes sense.
Talk about it. You have such an exciting week coming up, so I'm manifesting a good week for you.
I know. Well, I can say much. I can just.
Oh, by the way, don't manifest anything for me, Trish. She's manifesting a good week for Colleen. This is the week that her life falls apart. I just want to point that.
I think that's what she was manifesting.
An audition-y kind of thing,
which is
happening.
crazy that you're auditioning, but like love that you audition. You're not like your head isn't like I shouldn't have to audition. You're like, oh yeah, I'll
No,
audition.
oh my god, no! I've never thought I should have to audition.
Really?
No way. I'm a horrible auditioner though.
I
I get so nervous.
And we can't really go into
I'm
detail.
good at callbacks. Like if I get a callback for something, then I feel like, oh, they liked me. Now I'm okay.
I just think it's so funny that an accused child abuser is the likable one in this show.
That's a really good point.
Yeah. And Trisha Paytas is like, I can't work with you. Oh my God. I can't work with Trisha Paytas.
How famous do these people think that they are? Where she goes, oh, you still go on auditions? Yeah. How else am I going to get a job in show business?
Yeah.
It's insane.
Clip 14 is a little more audition envy.
Maybe I'm the idiot.
I think, yeah. And I auditioned for Glee a few times.
No. Why did they not cast you?
Because I'm a horrible auditioner.
Or
and I
maybe
was not good enough. Like fully, like I support their decisions.
Which character do you relate to on Glee? Glee's problematic AF right now. We rewatched
I know
Glee.
there's a lot of stuff on that.
Oh my God, so bad. Actually.
Okay.
Turn this into a game.
Sorry about the quality of this clip.
Yeah,
but...
editor Ed, help us out here in post, please.
So anyway, Trisha's saying that Glee is a problematic show that Colleen almost ended up on, and
do you know why that is?
Some of the people from that one of the guys died. The other lead of the show was accused of being racist. I don't know, a bunch of reasons. I guess there's a lot of things about that show.
One of the guys died. Is that a reason for something to be problematic?
I think he died.
I can't watch Fast and the Furious anymore. I'm sorry.
He was murdered, but
one of the guys died. So
yeah. So Glee's problematic. So careful, a pot. Don't call the kettle black.
I know, right?
Trisha's actually more of like a vat or a silo, calling a kettle.
Yeah, or no shit.
Problematic.
Yeah.
All right.
They both have some issues. Now, I want to talk about who's more excited to have this podcast out of the two of them. It seems like maybe Trish is. She shot out a can in this one.
I was there at the live chat. You were there at the live chat. People were like freaking out. Because I am really excited about this podcast. Everyone's like, Trisha's more excited. And I was like, I know.
Whoever talks faster is more excited, is what I've learned about this.
Okay.
And they're having so much fun.
We're having so much fun and love this. And this is like totally just, it's the best.
You
like,
gotta expect the best.
time.
You
like
switch it so you expect the best.
So I listen to a lot of podcasts. It's my job. And the good ones never explain to you how much fun they're having and how great it is and how it's the best. They don't need to. These women are trying to convince themselves, their audience, anyone who will listen, that this is great. We're all having fun. This is the best. And I noticed because, unfortunately, like I said, the YouTube videos are gone. So you can't go and watch these videos. But there's a lot of people who are reacting to them.
We're all missing out.
There's a lot of reaction videos, which tells me a lot of people didn't think it was the best. There were a few people out there who thought maybe this kind of sucked. But for some fucking dumbass reason, these idiots think that this is going to get picked up and they're going to be on television. They think this show is so good that they're going to be on TV.
But I think things are going to change. That's why I'm saying, I see us being on TV. We could be Kelly and Mark Consuelos. You know what I mean?
I don't even know what that is.
Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos.
Oh my God. Kelly Ripa.
You're Kelly Ripa.
Ryan Seacrest.
No, Mark is her co-host now. We could be that. We could be The View, but not judgy.
These people are retarded. They aspire to be The View, but not judgy. Jesus Christ. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
All right. Play us out, Andy. What else you got on this?
All right. So you might think that this show is dumb as fuck, but they're going to take it to a spiritual place, Carl.
Good.
Clip 17.
All right. I'm glad to hear that.
And even watching like Prince of Egypt, I was like, God was like, the way the Old Testament does it sounds like he punishes so many people, like kills the firstborn. I'm like, this is like a mean God. Like, I don't know if I like this God.
Jealous.
Yes.
Angry.
Why do they portray him as that? 'Cause my God is not that.
Yeah, I mean that's
why did they make him like that in the Old Testament?
I didn't write it. You know, I don't know.
But God didn't write it either. I was like, God and Jesus wrote the Bible. They didn't.
That's what I thought. That's what I always thought.
It's like I guess it's the word of the Lord, but who's deciphering this? It lost in translation.
I mean, yeah, like it's a
lot. Saw stuff
and
twisted it, and then I don't know. Also, maybe people. I feel like back then people aren't hallucinogens. Like Moses seeing the burning bush. I'm like, is that a true story? And he's just like, well, he could have been like on hallucinogens or something like that, and just thought he heard God or whatever.
or like a bush was on fire.
No, you're right. The first Jesus wrote the Bible.
Jesus
he also wrote.
And God wrote the Bible together.
Yeah. They also wrote everybody poops. And this is the Holy Ghost wrote. It's easy for you to say.
Yes. And go the fuck to bed, I believe, was also written by Jesus. Holy shit, that is some dumb stuff right there. And for everyone who's just like, the burning bush, there's a lot of crazy shit in there, like the parting of the Red Sea, the Noah's Ark. They're metaphors. Yeah. No one says that this really happened on Earth. I mean, people believe that because they're numbnuts. But the whole point of the Bible is to teach lessons.
I kind of think Colleen.
What am I going to do?
I think Colleen doxed herself to get away from this show.
You think so?
Yeah. She's like, I can't work with this.
Like, by the way, I've been goofing at your dudes. I just want to let you know.
I got to go to jail.
Can somebody please leak this?
I can't do this anymore.
Away from this person. All right, Andy. Are we good on this?
I am.
I am as well. And that means that's going to bring us to the
Cringe of the Week. Cringe of the Week.
And the Cringe of the Week comes in a suggestion from our Discord. And Glenn Beck is doing an ad read. And I don't think he thought this one through. He's trying to improvise a little bit here.
Interesting.
Trying to have a little fun with the copy.
Finally.
And it doesn't really go well.
Call Goldline. They're waiting for your call now at 866 Goldline. 866 Goldline. My N-word.
What?
That didn't really. Back in a minute.
What was he thinking there? Why was he calling out his N-word? It seemed like a really poor decision on his part. He's a veteran broadcaster, as they say in the business. That definitely was a cringe of the week there. Okay, guys, we're about 12 minutes out from Shuli and Brian coming on the show. So what I'm going to do is I want to get into, I mentioned on the last show, I had a bunch of Opie stuff that we didn't get to. Opie had Chad Zumock on his morning live stream, and there's a lot to get to there. So I think I'm going to start doing some Opie stuff. We'll bring on Shuli and Brian, and then after that, we'll get back and we'll finish it up. And then I also have some Stuttering John things that I want to discuss. Well, John, there's too much to get to with John. I went on Drew and Mike's show. They put it up on YouTube. And we played some of the stuff from John's second ever Hypocrisy Police episode. You know what? Let me talk about this. Fuck Opie. We'll get to Opie later.
Yeah.
John does his second ever Hypocrisy Police show, and he brings on Richard Ojeda. And I played a bunch of clips with Drew and Mike. People can find that on the Drew and Mike channel on YouTube. And basically what it is John brings on his only friend left. Rich, maybe I am now again, but we'll talk about that.
For now.
Yeah. So he brings on his only friend in the world, Richard Ojeda, who he calls Richard Ojeda because he doesn't listen. And he wants to explain to Richard all the losers who are trolling and trashing him. And so he's bringing up the Uncle Rico episode, and he's pointing at Chad Zumock and Anthony Cumia and me, and he's looking at Shuli, and he's going through all the different people. And every time, Richard doesn't know what any of these people are. This is not in his world at all. He's not like an old O&A guy.
He's just sitting and blinking.
He's sitting there, but every time he gets a chance to get a word in, he goes, why are you giving this oxygen, John? What are you doing? Why are you even talking about this? And he was explaining to him, he tried many different ways to explain to John, people are tuning out. They don't want to see this. Mm-hmm. And the only thing they're going to do is go and check out what those guys are doing because you keep talking about them and you're giving them content by continuing to talk about them. And so you're just perpetuating this thing. And every single time, John would go, I know, but let me just tell you about this. No, I know. No, you're right. But hold on a second.
I hear you, but I don't.
Yeah, look at what this asshole's doing. And then this guy, over here. So it's so funny because I don't know what's going to happen with him and Richard, if he's going to be kind of the new sidekick like they kind of were doing when John was ending his first run there. Because, Hal Sparks went away and it was tough to get guests on there. So it was him and Richard talking politics. Well, that's all Richard wants to talk about is politics. He doesn't want to talk about Anthony Cumia and, whatever happened with Danny Brand 7 years ago, whatever the fuck it was. He's just like, okay, whatever. He's like, no, you don't know how much of a racist this guy is. He's like, all right, then why are we talking about it? What the fuck? Who cares?
Yeah. Richard wants to talk about politics the way we want to talk about John.
Right.
That's
all I want to talk about. Right. Okay. So fast forward. Stuttering John, I had a conversation with him yesterday because he got very mad at me because Vince the attorney or Vince the lawyer, whatever the fuck he goes by, Vinny. I'm in a private text thread with him and Shuli and someone else. And whatever, we're having a conversation. And I bring up something about my new house that I bought in Florida and what a coincidence it is that it happens to be near someone else's house named Stuttering John Melendez. All right. This was not meant for anyone's eyeballs. People have figured this out. It's been on the Reddit and stuff, but I obviously am not giving this information out. But Vince, who needs attention any way he can get it, decides to take a screen grab of that and post it on Reddit. I didn't know that. All I know is that I get a message from Stuttering John with that screen grab, and I know it's from Vince because anytime you're in a group text, you see who the other people are you're texting with, their initials at the top.
Mm-hmm.
The one that's missing is Vince. So it's Vince's phone who's sending this out. This is not meant for anyone. It was not meant for the internet. John takes that screen grab and goes, what the fuck, Carl? You're doxing me now? You told me you wouldn't dox me. This is he starts threatening me. He knows where I live and all this stuff. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. So I assumed, because I know that Vince and John talk, I assumed that Vince sent that to John.
Did Vince know that John is in Florida? Did Vince know that? Or is that information that you gave Vince?
Well, this is well known by anyone who follows Muttering Jay.
Okay.
Muttering Jay on Twitter cracked this case a week or two ago. And I had known about this ahead of time. And when I saw Muttering Jay report on this, I DM'd him and I'm like, dude, where are you getting this information from? I know I'm going to get accused of leaking this. And I don't want that. And so I'm like, Muttering Jay, where did you get this information from? Because John's going to assume I leaked this to you. So he went through, he goes, this is how we got it. And he went through all these different things. There was a screenshot. So John was sharing his computer and he had his browser up and all of his tabs.
Oh, okay.
This is going back, I don't even know how many months. But one of them was an address in Cape Coral from Zillow. So that he's looking at houses in Cape Coral. So anyway, through that and real estate transactions are public and you can look things up, whatever. So Muttering Jay figured this out. So I assume that Vince, the attorney, knows that and everyone else knows that too. I don't know if they do or not, but whatever, it's out there. So anyway, all Vince does is he posts that text thread, the screen grab from his phone, and then John sends that screen grab to me. So I assume Vince sent it to John, and I get back in the thread. I'm like, Vince, what the fuck is wrong with you? What are you doing? This was not for anyone else's eyes but ours. Why would you do that? And then Vince thinks he's got a big gotcha on me. He's like, I didn't send it to Stuttering John. So fucking apologize. No, you don't even have to apologize, Carl. No worries. I'm an adult. You don't have to apologize to me. And I'm like, I don't care how John got it. Actually, it's way worse. You posted it on Reddit for everyone to see, for John to see, and then accuse me of doxing him and all this shit. And I'm like, dude, if I'm ever, and this goes for all of us, we don't have to say this because you guys know. If we're emailing each other or texting, that's for you. That's for you to see. That's not something that I need you to post on Reddit or the Discord or I can't believe that Vince doesn't fucking know that. He's a fucking moron.
He's an attorney.
I know.
Supposedly.
That's what my wife kept saying too. I'm like, I don't care if he's a plumber.
Yeah.
Everyone fucking knows this. It's just common courtesy. You don't post someone's personal message to you, especially when it's something about.
Aren't we all supposed to be glad that John is back and making this all laugh some more? Why are we all trying to drive him away like immediately? Why are we doing this?
Well, Vince needs attention any way he can get it.
All right.
He wants to be a part of this world. So,
well, nobody's talking about Vince.
So John, I know. So John messaged me and he's very upset. So I'm on the Drew and Mike show and he calls me. So I pull up the phone while I'm on the show. And he's like, Carl, you got to call me back. I'm like, fine. So I call him after I get done with the show. And, we have a conversation about it. I explain what happened. I explained to him that threatening me is not cool. He says he didn't threaten me. Okay, whatever. So we leave it at that. Then I'm doing the creep off bonus show this morning with Vinny over here. And there's Stuttering John on my phone again, calling me. Like, what the fuck is this? So I pulled up, put it on speakerphone. John is freaking out. John is, Carl, this is nuts. I know that everyone warned me about Chad, but now he's threatening me, and he's threatening. I got the police involved, I got the Tampa police involved, now I got the FBI involved, and I'm like, meanwhile, I'm recording all of this out of the creep off. We weren't live, thankfully. We cut it out. I'm saying it now, so I guess it doesn't matter. I don't know how to navigate these things. That's not the point.
Take that clip and bring it to this cringe of the week next time.
Yeah. No, he said all this on his show afterwards. I didn't know what he was going to talk about. So John goes, Carl, we got to talk about this thing. He goes, I'm going live at 10 o'clock. He's on the West Coast. Can I say that? I don't fucking know. I'm going live.
This guy's all over the place.
I know. I'm going live at 1 o'clock with Eastern. Can you come on the show? I go, send me the link. Okay. So then he sends me the link. And I go on Stuttering John's show today. Something I wasn't planning on doing. Wednesdays are a busy day for me. I do the creep off, and then I prep for Who Are These Podcasts, and I do that. Anyway, I go on John's show because according to John, Chad Zubak is out of control. Like, he's got a flamethrower going up to his house right now, and he's just ready to fucking burn it down. It turns out, as I'm talking to John, and he's showing me, he's actually messaging me the tweets that he put out and the text message thread that they have going on. Chad tweeted something that was something like, I know where you live, and then hashtag stay tuned. Now, is that a threat? Probably. Would I take it seriously? No.
Yeah, and from anyone else you might, but
that's what John said. He goes, well, Chad's got a criminal record, so I got to take this seriously. Well, good point. I can't really argue with that. But I said to John on his show, if it's still up, you can watch it. I go, John, you literally threatened me in a very similar fashion. You said that you were in a biker gang and you knew where I lived and you're going to make my life in Florida interesting. He goes, oh, well, Carl, I'm not in a biker gang. Like, I know that.
He's also not a member of the hypocrisy police, who you should have called.
I go, John, I know that. That's why I didn't call the FBI. Do you see my points? I'm like, John, you got to not take this so fucking seriously. Yeah. Chad's not doing anything to you. And also, and I explained this to him too on the show. I go, I've gotten death threats before. I never take them seriously. Anyone who's going to kill you or who wants to ruin your life is not going to publicly announce it beforehand. It's a really dumb move, even for a guy like Chad. Would not do something like that. Be really fucking stupid. So I tried to explain to him to de-escalate things. I go, why don't you give it a day? Because he's talking to the Tampa police, he's talking to the FBI, and he's got all these things. He's getting a restraining order.
Where's big tough guy that's going to fight 3 guys in 10 minutes?
He loves to go back and forth because I explained to him, I go, well, you're threatening violence on people. It's like, no, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, you're going to pistol whip Anthony Kubiak. He's like, that was a joke.
Hilarious.
I know, I get
always funny.
I can't fucking keep track of what's a joke and what's not a joke. So I shouldn't have this screen pulling up this whole time. Anyway, so that was interesting. I guess John got Chad's Twitter taken down for 12 hours. Chad's all pissed off about that because he's in Twitter jail right now and he can't tweet. And
it's better than regular jail, Chad.
It's better than regular jail. And the Tampa police. So he's going to send, I don't know what John's going to do, but I assume he's going to send them this tweet that Chad put out that said, I know where you live, hashtag stay tuned. And the police are going to go, all right.
Best thing for you to do is stay tuned.
Yeah. Let's see how this plays out, shall we?
Maybe you're getting a pizza.
Oh, my God. I can't even imagine. And the whole time I'm on John's show today, I got a guy feeding me information, thankfully, because I'm not keeping up on this as well as I should be. And that is one Shuli-Egar. What's up, Shuli?
Hi, everybody. Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hello.
So, how we doing?
Yes. I'm doing well. What a weird day, huh, Shuli?
I mean, I know you guys were busy. What's funny is, so let me give you a few more updates on this saga that's going on.
Please, because we were watching John on MLT right when we were starting the show, and none of us wanted to do the show. Like, let's just watch this. But,
so even before that, on his show, at some point, he started getting texts from Chad saying, I'm on my way to your place now. So there's this really listen, there's this really amazing thing that he does at one point where he picks up his phone and he goes, Siri, call John. And all of a sudden he has the and I swear it's like somebody auditioning for something, and the part like the sides have to do with having a phone call, because it just didn't seem real. He was just like answering too fast, and people in the chat were like, this is a fake call. And he's like, he's telling this guy, Johnny, I need you to go over to the house. This guy's texting me. He says he's on his way. Yeah, nah, his name's Chad Zumock. He goes, yeah, he's a white guy. And he's like, and he's doing this whole thing. And then he hangs up and he goes, maybe I'll call the cops too. But he goes, it's about 2 hours before he gets there, so I have time. And then and then he's like doing the text thing where he's like touching one finger at a time, but he's saying sentences. So he's like, he's like, be there for the next 30 minutes. And he's just pushing like one at a time.
So he wasn't fooling you, Shuli?
The whole thing was so strange. It was so strange. But then the best part is I'm texting Chad and I'm going, you're not texting John right now, are you? And I don't hear from him. And I'm like, fuck. I go, I hope Chad's not on a bender or something. And then I get a text from him like 45 minutes later. He goes, I just landed in Ohio. So he's been in the air the entire time. John thinks he's on his way to his house. So, and then MLC. I mean, it was just amazing.
So another thing, just a peek behind the scenes here. I don't know why John called me about this chat thing. I have nothing to do with that. I guess
he has no fucking friends.
Well,
ding, ding, ding.
I learned today that Tukey wants to be his friend. Tukey super chatted him and John gave him smooches. So that's good.
That's tremendous.
Yeah. I was messaging with Tukey. He goes, that's the best $5 I ever spent.
Listen, this reminds me of when people were like, yeah, give High Pitch my number. I'm like, are you sure? And they're like, yeah. And 2 weeks later, they're like, dude, he's hitting me up for mortgage payments. Like, please get me out of this loop. So John's similar.
What does that sound like?
What? Oh, where he's,
hey, listen, I need money for my cable bill. I can't jerk off without Blue Bloods. Donnie Wahlberg.
All right.
Shuli, the snipe stream with Chad and John was, if it was possible to make me fall in love with Chad Zumock, you guys did it. That was so great.
High praise.
I mean, he you say what you will, scumbag or not, he was amazing that day. All right. We can all agree on that. I think we can agree on. Yeah.
So the crazy thing is, and I don't know how I got myself into this position, because all I've done is make fun of Chad Zumock and Stuttering John for the last year of my life. Yeah. And I have John coming to me saying Chad's a lunatic, and Chad, not even knowing that John did that, is messaging me their text conversation to show me what a fucking lunatic John is. I'm like, how am I?
Yeah, now you're mediating.
Yeah, how am I mediating this thing? So I go on John's show and I'm telling him, like, yeah, no, Chad is a lunatic. You're right. That's very true. But also, cool your jets. This isn't the end of the world. He's not murdering your children. That's the whole thing too. John just keeps pulling that children card. Where he's like, yeah, but my kids might live in that house someday. It's like, they don't. You're fine.
I mean, you can write anything in that chat and give him $5 and he'll believe it if it's in his fit. Like, he'll be like, the Pope is stream sniping. Oh, really? Okay. Thanks, Pope. Thanks a lot, you piece of shit. You know, and he's already pissed.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. All right. So that gets us caught up. On everything that's going on. Now the big showdown is set to begin because, as you guys know, I'm once again in the middle of this. I'm friends with Shuli Egar. I am friends with Bryan Johnson.
You're friends with everyone, man.
I know people are upset with me about it now. Kevin Brennan's calling me out because I'm too friendly of something.
Yeah, well.
You're in too deep, Donnie Brasco. You need to get out of this.
So basically, what happened was Bryan Johnson finally went on Misery Loves Company. It was a long time in the making because, as you guys might recall, I'll give a quick recap. He was scheduled to go on MLC. Bob Levy messaged Kevin before that and said, why are we having this guy on? He just wants to trash Shuli. And then, so they didn't get a chance to talk. So Kevin comes on the show and they kind of hash it out there in real time. Like, so you don't want to have this guy on? You're worried about your friend Shuli, whatever. So Bryan's watching this. He goes, well, fuck this. I'll go over to Chad. So then Bryan goes on Chad Zumock's show. And that was, we've covered that pretty well on the show. That was amazing. It was an amazing move by Bryan, hilarious, and Chad got a big W that day. Unbeknownst to him, he didn't do anything to deserve it, but he just got the W that day.
It's so easy for Chad to get these W's when everybody else is fighting his battles for him.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't happen often, but
that's two. It's two now.
It was a mailbox W. He just woke up and it was there waiting for him. He didn't have to do anything.
Right. So Bryan has come on this show and he's gone on other shows. He's talked about he has an issue or a couple issues with Shuli. And for a while there, well, let me bring him in before I set this up anymore. The great Bryan Johnson, everybody. What's up, Bryan?
Here I am, Carl. Can I say
you son of a bitch, you motherfucker? Let me tell you something, Bryan. Fuck yourself. Fuck you, and Carl. Sorry.
Wow. Did you learn some Hebrew for this, Bryan?
Bryan.
See, this is what everyone was already complaining about. Is it going to be a love fest? So I do want to say that the reason why I set this up is because Bryan went on MLC Monday. They were playing it on the BS show Tuesday morning, and Shuli goes, I liked Bryan on the show. I thought Bryan did a great job, and I'd like to talk to the guy. So I went, oh, shit, I should probably set this up. So I reached out to both those guys. They agreed to do this. Thank you guys so much for being on this platform and doing this, your first communication with each other. And so I want to ask, starting with you, Shuli, because you were very dismissive of Bryan Johnson. You seem to do zero research on who he was.
Correct.
You were just like, I don't know who the fuck this guy is. Fuck this guy. And I'm just curious. I know you have a lot of haters, but I'm just curious why you wouldn't have done just like the bare minimum to find out who this guy is and see if it's worth talking to.
It's a great question, Carl, and
Thanks.
you bring up a great point. One that I clearly didn't see. I think at that point there was there's just so much shit flung at me every day from every possible direction. Thank you, Bubbly. From every possible direction. And again, I got to bring up E-Rock because he sends me this text, right? And Bryan, I'm not trying to be a dick or like one up you. I was not familiar with you. I was not familiar with the TV show. I'm not a comic book guy. I didn't know anything about you. I didn't know the podcast either. And out of the blue, E-Rock texts me and he goes, this guy I do my show with, Bryan Johnson, hates you. He goes, you want to come on? And I'm just like, who the fuck? Like, everybody wants me to come on to fucking scream at me. I'm like, who is Bryan Johnson? And I'm just like, what's his problem with me? And he goes, well, we can talk about it when we're on the air. And I'm like, okay, no, I'm good, man. I don't know. And I didn't know anything about you. And I just kind of assumed that you were, I don't know, part of there are tiers to this Dabbleverse, right? So I just assumed Bryan was on the lower tiers of the Dabbleverse. And I'm like, I'm not going to waste my time with this shit. I'm not going to go on there, And that was just the way I thought of it,
You were right about.
Well,
we didn't have many viewers.
No, I've researched since, my friend. You are past Melendez on that ladder. I'll tell you that, of success.
Yeah, and
that's how I measure it too.
Who's above and who's below, right?
Yeah.
So I will say that E-Rock, I love E-Rock, and he's a great guy, but he did go about that the wrong way. Like, he could have explained a little bit more about why he wanted you to come on the Would You Kindly with them.
And there's zero other examples of Shuli not preparing for something, right? There's no other.
Exactly.
Okay.
I mean, what am I going to change now, guys? What's the point?
Right,
I just wanted to say two things, Carl. One was that while I respect the collective opinion of Shuli's Anonymous, it will neither govern my opinion nor.
I didn't do that.
I'm impressed with the Marshall half stack back there.
Oh.
Thank you.
From,
it's actually a
Stuttering
fridge.
Oh, is it?
Stuttering John's old house.
Yeah, this is Stuttering John's old place. That's my background. No, so I guess long story short, once I started researching Bryan and got over being butthurt about him not liking me, I was like, I kept seeing him pop up on different things, and I'm just like, this guy's all right. I got no. Hold on, if we can just quiet down, we can hear Kevin screaming Piazza while he's watching this right now. But I had, and I especially thought he was great on MLC. on such a interesting day that he was booked on. That wasn't an easy appearance, and him and Melton were great on there.
I could do an entire
It was
episode.
super easy. I just sat there and watched for the first 30 minutes.
That episode of Misery Loves Company on Monday was so explosive. It started off with Kevin and Bob just screaming at each other. And it was so funny because Kevin would just be going off, spittle going everything, and be like, Brian, what do you think? All right, Brian, you go now. It was the funniest fucking thing because everyone's just like watching, like, hey. So anyway, I was going to say, they start screaming at each other again. And the best part was, not to make it about me, but I will for 1 second, is I'm listening to it with my wife in the car. We're driving back home, and it's hilarious. Kevin's all upset about that Uncle Rico show we did the night before. And I'm listening, looking over at my wife, and I go, how am I avoiding any of the shrapnel here? They're not bringing me up at all. And then immediately after I say that, KB goes into about me and just starts trashing me as hard as possible. I'm like, well, I probably shouldn't have manifested that. I suppose.
Yeah, you're a manifesting machine. You got John and Chad are moving in. Everybody's fucking in your life.
God
It's
damn
crazy.
It's fucking nuts. So, all right, let's talk about, Brian. You've really never gotten a chance to explain to Shuli what some of your gripes are, and I want to give you an opportunity now to get.
No, he's. I don't think he's ever heard, and I don't even know if, like, on MLC, I sent in a super chat and I mentioned Shuli, and KB messaged me. He said, "Do you want to come on the show and talk shit about Shuli?" I said, "Yeah, sure, why not?" Now I assumed that they would have Shuli on, so like we're doing right now. Right. That's what I assumed. But then when I went to look for the link, it wasn't there, and I started to watch the show and quickly found out that I guess Bob had run interference and I wasn't going to be on. Now I sat down to watch. I would have never said anything. I would have never done anything because I'm not really like. It depends on my level of medication right now. I'm pretty good, so I'm calm. But I would not have like ran to another outlet to bash Shuli. But then when I sat down and started watching, like Bob was saying all this shit about me and by virtue of the fact that he protected you, I'm like, Bob has shit on me and E-Rock for years now. Mm-hmm. So yes. They've both said some very unkind things. Just like you, Mr. Shuli, you said something very unkind and not true, I might add.
Okay.
Well, we could talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll get into that. That's in my notes.
Yeah.
But I want to clarify one thing real quick, that I in no way ever told Bob, do not go on this show if he's coming on, or tell Kevin not to have him on.
You didn't even know who I was, right? So
right. I never once got involved, but I know Kevin likes to say that I instructed Bob to put up a fight or whatever. I just think Bob was just, like you said, protecting a friend, you know?
Yeah, and I completely understood it. It was only after he started coming at me that I was like, fuck this fucking crypt keeper. And so I that's why I went on Chad. And when we had a little back and forth, but honestly, like after that, I'm being completely transparent here, so people can call me a piazza if they want, but I'm like, well, that was empty. Like I didn't feel better. I felt like I don't think I'm cut out for this part of it. I think I'm cut out to watch and text Carl and say, have you seen this shit? And, did you see Stuttering John on MLC? He was, that's my name, Dopestradamus, according to Stuttering John. I'm sure he made that up.
It's a good one.
That he was accusing somebody of sending that video of him in bed to
yes, that was very confusing.
He was saying Adam sent it, so I sent Adam an email and I said, tell John that I hacked his phone, and that's how I got the video. I saw him in a coffee shop because I have a couple photos of him in a coffee shop that somebody sent. E-Rock sent me.
I have too.
Yeah, so I sent them in to sort of like further prove that I saw him, and I said, tell him I jacked all his videos and photos.
That's hilarious.
When in reality, I saw it on Reddit like everyone else.
Yeah, it's posted on Reddit by someone who's in his Patreon, right?
Yeah, he's the most, like, I have bouts of paranoia, like my wife will attest to that, but like this dude is paranoid 24/7, but at the same time never fucking sees it coming.
No.
No. How is that possible?
Yeah. You think he'd be on fucking high alert.
Yeah.
Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you, though.
Correct. I mean, if anyone should be paranoid, it's some John Melendez.
Right.
And especially like I was saying, you know, like I sort of stepped back and I'm like, I'm not going to continue. Like there were people online that were like, "Bri, do a Shuli show." I'm like, that is not me. I'm not that guy.
Same on my end. Same on my end. And
do a Bri show.
It just pushes, talk more shit about this guy, sending me shit. And it's like, it puts you in a position where, you start doing it. And like you said, you're just like, well, where do I go from here? Like, this isn't even This isn't even what I do. This isn't even who how I am in real
KB
life.
is like, that's KB's brand, so I totally get
agree.
why he does that, and he does it very well. Like he's great at it. Although I did disagree with him the other day on something that when you guys set up the troll for John.
Yeah.
Which I was like, this is fucking awesome. And I remember watching Chad in real time, and I said to my wife about 50 minutes in, I said, Chad's trolling John. I was like, I don't know what the end is here, but he's trolling him. And then KB said that like it had nothing to do with Chad, and Chad sucks, and Chad's human garbage, and all this other shit. But I'm like, look, just because Shuli and Bob were the architects doesn't mean you discount the guy with the hammer that fucking put the building up. You know,
I agree.
Yeah,
You know,
I know
like,
that was one
thought-
of the things John asked me when I was talking to him on the phone. One of the things he asked me, he goes, "No, did you know that Chad was trolling me?" I go, "Yeah." It was pretty obvious. I go, even before Shuli told me what was going on behind the scenes, it was very obvious that you were getting trolled, John. You really should have definitely recognized that.
Yeah, but like I never would have guessed that it was Shuli and Bob behind it, because less than 24 hours earlier, Chad's talking about Gina, and Chad's putting Shuli's wife up online, and all and all this other stuff.
Right.
So it's just like I'm having a very difficult time figuring out alliances and all that shit, because I'm like, wait a second. So Carl hates Chad. Chad's a piece of shit, but wait, now he's on Chad's show, and then KB's on Chad's show, even though he's yelling at Bob for being on a show with Chad. I'm like, I can't figure this shit out.
Nothing's ever been more professional wrestling than this whole dabble.
This is the thing, though, and people like to say that, oh, it's phony because apparently Chad and Shuli and Bob made up behind the scenes, and then Chad and Bob had that fight on MLC that I guess was staged or whatever people want to say about it. But as I've said all along, none of us want to fight each other. That's never been the goal here. This is a roast. We're joking. These are jokes. It's comedy.
People with a sense of humor know how to navigate this. That's why Stuttering John can't.
Right. And the people who get upset about it are the same people who see, the NWO is having dinner with a baby face after the show. They're like, what?
Well,
how is it possible?
not only that, Carl, but they're the same people in all the other shows, chat rooms, donating money and telling those people they're great and fuck the other person. And it's like, but we're the phonies. You guys.
It's still real to me, damn it.
Yeah. Bob's fly baby is real, but I'm the phony. Okay, fine.
All right, but what is real is that Brian definitely hates Shuli. So let's get into that.
Let's go.
All right, what's your issue with Shuli, Brian?
I had a couple. You know what? I'll say this too, Shuli. I owe you an apology, because I was convinced that it was you that drove John off the internet, and I resented you for it because I wanted him to be this evergreen lolcow that we could always turn to. And then John, he is a liar, but he said that you had nothing to do with him leaving the internet. So who am I to argue that? So for that, I was wrong, and I held that against you. But some of this stuff it's just, again, like, I'm just a listener. I do a podcast, sure, but like, I'm just a listener. My opinion, it has no more weight than fucking Flybaby.
Time out, Brian. You're not just a listener. You do have a podcast. You've been in show business. You come on our show quite often. I consider you one of the co-hosts, rotating co-hosts on Who Are These Podcasts. But go ahead, as you were saying.
All right, so I'm a pretty big wheel down at the Cracker Factory. So this is one man's opinion, and again, I'm going to temper it by saying that, like, along the way when we're doing our podcast, I didn't know certain things about myself. I won't go to our Reddit thread. No fucking way. People are too mean to me. They're really mean to me. Like, everybody hates us, but wait, I totally lost my fucking train of thought.
Oh, here we go.
But anyway, okay. So here are my main issues where I think you might be able to learn. Okay. Issue number one. In your promo stuff, stop acting like a badass. We're all fucking in our 50s or late 40s. Like, you're just out of prison poses. They're so grating, dude.
Yo, dog, I liked you up until now. I'm gonna keep it real.
I'm telling you, these are little things. These are little things, but I'm like, what's with this fucking
It's
guy?
all I got, Brian. It's all I got.
No, you don't got it. You're not a badass.
I mean, in my mind, I know that. I can't fix anything around the house. I pay people to mow lawns. I know I'm not a man. Let me pretend, Brian, please.
But look, Look, I'm on the exact same page as you. The other day, my big job for the day that my wife gave me was go around to all the patio furniture and tear the tags off the cushions. And that was it. That was my manly job for the day.
Oh man, that's
so
a
I feel you. I
That's a
totally feel
DeVito
you.
chore. That's a Ray DeVito chore if I ever heard one.
Oh, Carl, what the fuck, man? I know you're a young guy, so when you reach my age, you're going to be like, wow, there's a lot of time I shouldn't have wasted. An hour and a half with Ray DeVito is going to be one of those things you look back on.
Brian, did you see
I was
me with
like,
Ray DeVito
holy
yesterday?
shit. What?
Did you how frustrating was that? I go on there and I'm explaining to him how to run a good show. I was giving him direction I've never given anyone. I was showing him my notes, my process. He wasn't listening to anything I had to say. At the end of all of it, he goes, so I should write down 3 bullet points before the show starts? I'm like,
Can I start it with one bullet point?
yeah, I'm like, fine, all right.
And then in the middle, it's like, Carl, what's better, Wrigley Field or Shea Stadium, do you think?
God.
And I think Drunk on Cringe put together like an 18-minute compilation, and it's fucking. I got through 3 minutes of it. I was laughing so goddamn hard. It's phenomenal.
I haven't watched it yet, but I hopefully grabbed the good parts where I'm screaming at Ray to stop. Get on fucking focus on the conversation, Ray. Anyway, see, look at us. Now we're getting off the conversation.
I'm sorry. You were saying, Brian. I saw.
Okay, so I would, and I'm not alone. I'm not alone in this. I would shed the badass image, and and then I don't think it's just you. I think everybody needs to shed the badass image with the fucking 50, 60-year-old guys being like, "We're gonna fight." It's like nobody's gonna fucking fight. John is living in the fucking 90s. He sounds fundamentally retarded, and like we're all like. The last, like, he got a payday on the cabbie fight. So he's like, well, how can I make that same payday again? I know, I'll fight these 3 guys. And I really wanted you guys to do it because there's no possible way that fat piece of shit. That's right, John. I'm talking to you. You called me fucking Dope Stradamus earlier today. I heard you.
Oh, shit.
It stung. I won't lie. It stung.
Still reeling from that one, I can tell.
And it's funny because I remember like 2 months ago, I was running to a gate to catch a flight. And like I hadn't ran like that in years. Like, and I'm so out of shape. And I felt like I was gonna fucking drop dead at the gate. And he's talking about I'll fight. He kept adding people to the fight card. I'll fight. I'll fight the Rico. I'll fight WATP. I'll fight Kevin, Adam, everybody.
You're so right though, Brian, because, and I pointed this out too, John, because I've read his book. John made so much money on that cabbie fight because he got a sponsorship deal. He had action on the fight. He won bets. So he's looking at this as this big payday, and he's got all these different angles. He's going to make money on it. When I went on his show today, I said, John, let's just do a roast. We can sell out a theater. Let's just do the roast of Stuttering John, or it could be the roast of Stuttering John and Shuli. There's going to be people there who are on John's side on that one. I don't know why he won't do that.
I don't know. It's just like we're all middle-aged, straight white guys. People fucking don't like us already. We don't need to add cringe into it. To like my wife, my wife watches everything with me, and she sits there. She's like, "Oh my god, this is crazy. Like these are grown men," and I'm like, "I know. I don't know what to make of it. The fight and stuff."
You're anti-white on white crime.
Well, Brian, you say that we're straight men, but let's not forget she was also Jewish. So
thank you.
Oh, that's true. And you have wood paneling. So I don't know what I'm dealing with here.
I have a bit of feminine the way I drink my beer. So that's a good point too. I forgot.
That's the kind of shit that drives me fucking crazy about John, and that he's
look at him,
he
doing
won't
it.
answer it in the fucking beginning, or like he won't just answer these charges.
Even today with Bob, like Bob was asking, like either Bob or him asked a legitimate question. Oh, it was KB who said, look Bob in the eye and say he's not a funny stand-up comic. He said, tell me Bob's not a funny, because you say what you will about KB. The guy knows his fucking stand-up. He's great at stand-up. And Bob is a fucking beast on stage. He's a beast. There's a reason why Kevin goes on before him, okay? Because Bob destroys. And there's no way in hell that John is being honest when he can sit there and go, Bob sucks as a comic. And immediately, instead of explaining why he feels that way, which was the follow-up question, he just starts yelling and starts singing and screaming. And it's like, people want me to have a debate with, how are you supposed to have a debate with somebody like that? It's just going to be him screaming like an idiot.
Yeah, that was like,
sorry. Go ahead.
That's
Sorry.
when you guys had your back and forth, and you
Yeah.
know, of course, I run right to Dabblers Anonymous and Shuli's Anonymous to see what people thinking and how it's weighing. And I didn't, on Shuli's Anonymous, John destroyed, or
Right.
on
Right,
Dabblers
right.
Anonymous, Shuli destroyed. But my feeling was, and again, you can confirm or disconfirm this. I'm like, it looks to me like Shuli's toying with him. Like you, because you didn't go in there hardcore. And there was a moment where, again, I'm sorry, fucking Shuli's Anonymous, but I'm going to be honest about all this shit, where you did make me laugh, where like he's naming all those fucking comedy clubs, and he's like, "Did you do this one? Did you do that one?" And you're like, "Nah, but keep going. We'll hit one."
Yeah.
Like that kind of shit. Like I find it amusing and dismissive of John, which you should be, because
I just know
the guy has a serious personality disorder. Like there's no doubt about it. Like to be that angry and that passionate about something that is subjective, to say like I was better than you on Stern.
Let's get him out of here.
Let's get him
Shuli,
out. Oh my god, that
Shuli.
would be a dream. That would
I just
be a
want to
dream.
say, producer Chris here, Shuli, I just want to say the thing I loved about that interaction was how enraged you calling him pal and buddy made him.
That was funny.
It's the second he shows, the you're in,
Oh, yeah,
and coming from you, first of all, producer Chris, who has the batting average, the greatest snipe batting average of all time on podcast. You're a genius. But yeah, it was listen, what am I going to do? Yell at the guy? I don't really even hate the guy. I don't know why, he was saying today that we started it, not him. That was a big thing on the show today. I didn't start this, guys. They started it with the Uncle Rico show. Carl, you know how long he's been doing his podcast. How long I was working for Stern when this guy would shit on me on a regular basis, and we had no interaction whatsoever. And Uncle Rico came long after that.
Shuli, what's crazy about this is that was the whole basis of this conversation we were having about threatening violence.
Right.
Because John's going there and he's calling the police and the FBI because of this tweet that Chad put out. And then Shuli sends me a screen grab of John going on Chad's show the day before that and threatening Chad.
Yeah.
And then John's like, I don't know if that was me. I'm not sure. It looks like you. And maybe it was. He's like, I don't know.
And you gave Shuli I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Andy. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Carl gave you every opportunity to shit on Johnny. You took the high road multiple times.
Yes.
Before John.
That is true.
He just.
But who cares?
He pushed you and pushed you.
This whole thing, like
you started the fucking show.
They started it. No, they just did it better. That's the
Right.
thing. That's what it all comes down to. Because if John was trashing Shuli every week, and it wouldn't matter who started it, because he'd be winning.
Right. And as far as going on Chad's show with him, like, I know, say what you will about who chased him off. I know I'm one of the reasons he's back, and that goes without saying. I'm in his head. And I know the second I show up, he's going to lose his shit. And so I'm not going to join him in that. I'm just going to be relaxed and see what openings he gives. And it was a blast, because I am a fan of John, like all of us are. I want John at maximum level. So I will do whatever it takes to get Max John.
I agree.
Do you think he's there, or can he go bigger?
He's close to there, because I have to say, Brian, I was with you when John left the internet, when he took his ball and went home. That was a bummer. And we had to transition out of that and figure out, because that was a big part of our show, a big segment every single week. And so, we got by and it's fine and things are going great. But John coming back, I'm actually glad he left for 8 months, because he has brought more energy. He has brought more excitement into the Dabbleverse than if he was been here doing this the whole time. We'd be bored of it.
Yeah.
But the fact that he went away and then came back the way that he's come back, it's been incredible. I couldn't have predicted this in a million years. I'm so excited the way this all came back. So anyone who was mad at Shuli for running John off the internet, if that is true, you got to say that it all worked out well in the end. What ends well, whatever the saying is there. You know what I mean?
Sound like John.
Yeah, you totally sound like John.
All right.
You're becoming him.
I am. I talked to him twice in the last 2 days. All right. So this is what I have to
talk too much.
Thank you. Sorry. So Brian, I know that Shuli, when he was going after you, and maybe it was like a drinking show or something, he brought up some type of allegation, and I do want to address that. something that Kevin Smith had said, or what?
Right,
was
yeah,
that?
a clip of Kevin Smith on a podcast, which also flies in the face, Shuli, of never personal. I think we may have gotten to the one part where, because I'm like, hey, Shuli stinks. I don't like Shuli. And you're like, you're a child rapist.
Yeah. No,
not
listen,
the case. Not the fucking case. Because if you listen to that clip, it's like he immediately says in the beginning that nothing happened.
And you're 100% right about crossing that line and making something personal, because again, there's shit people send me about John on the, daily, like personal shit that, and I would never do that. And he's said 10 times worse things about me, my family, than you have ever said. And it was I'm not blaming it, but it was 100% a drinking show. And, I'm an herbalist. I don't do well on liquor. And it was, I even talked to producer Joe after it, and I was like, I think we should take this out. And I just felt like an asshole for doing it. Regardless of, because I know it's just that clip, it for sure, there's a good chance that it's taken out of context or whatever, and I did do it. No, I did. I'm owning up to it, but
Well, I didn't know if they were talking to me or you.
That's true. That could have been for you. Sorry. I don't apologize.
Hypocrite police.
No, but you're 100% right. That's not how I do things. That's not who I am. And I owe you an apology, and I'm sorry for that.
Yeah, I accept it. Yeah. I mean, it's
All
out
right.
there. I don't know what he was thinking or why he would say something that could be construed as such. But
well, the punishment didn't fit the crime anyways. Like it was like jumping fucking 10 levels. Like
that's one of those moments where I think I texted Carl and I was like, he's just like fucking John. He went nuke immediately.
I went John on you. I did. You're right. You're right. And truth be told, there isn't a ton of shit out there on you, believe it or not.
Oh my God. I talk a ton. I mean, I've been talking for 13 years. You should have been like, you're a drug addict or you were a drug addict. Your kid has Down syndrome. Ew.
That was the next drinking show. We had a whole character planned out.
I don't know if KB and company are still sniping this or not, but I want to play you guys just a couple of clips, because when John did his first Hypocrisy Police podcast, he then went on MLC after that. And it was Kevin solo, because I think Bob Levy had a gig that night. So it's Kevin solo, and then he brings on John. And the way this is glorious, the way that John comes on the show, he couldn't have fucked this up more. It's so embarrassing. And only Stuttering John could do this in the manner that he did this in. Turn your radio down, caller, I believe is what they used to say back in the day. If my internet will ever
in radio.
Yeah.
I got to give you credit though, Carl, because
Do you send him the link out?
Yeah, go ahead.
I
always pause for that. Yeah. When someone says I got to give you credit, Carl, I'm like, yeah, no, I'll
You were
wait
saying?
for it.
I'll give you some buffering time, but I want to give you credit for today, because I gave you a shot to troll John, but you didn't take it. I sent you a text and I said, take your glasses off and look up for about 20 seconds just to see if he would do it. And then I was just going to bombard him with shit.
Shuli treated me like I was Chad Zuma.
Yeah.
And I was I'm not Chad Zuma.
Fucking ass puppet over here.
Yeah, any future guests, please send me your numbers before going on John's show. Thank you.
I know when you started sending me those messages, I was like, that's not what this is right now, Shuli. Because my biggest regret when I went on John's show is I stressed out before who are these podcasts. I have a lot of work to do before that. And it's hard to get off the phone with Stuttering John. It's hard to get off. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to go on, John, but I don't have a lot of time. So if I start doing these fucking shenanigans and antics, be there all fucking day with that.
I sent you a fake Venmo to show him too.
Oh, that was so great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I checked my email. He already emailed me.
Oh, here
Like he was very proactive. Here we go.
Oh, no, because I thought he gave you the wrong email.
No.
All right. This is fantastic right here.
Oh, no, because I thought he gave you the wrong email.
No. You gotta turn your.
Hey.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, no, because I thought he gave you the wrong email. No. You got to turn your phone
John,
off.
I think you're listening to the show.
Hey.
Oh, there
Because I thought I gave the wrong email. You gotta turn your phone
John,
off.
you're listening to the show.
Oh, that's
Jesus Christ.
Because I thought I gave the wrong email. You gotta turn your phone off.
You're listening to the show. I'm freaking out, man.
I'm tripping my nuts off over here.
Your speaker is playing the show.
Oh, hold on a second. Sorry.
Oh,
John.
Yes, I got it.
That's the recording. That was the loop. You got
All
it?
right. How are you?
Good recovery.
amazing! This is what's been missing.
Yes.
The rage and the fire is all there, but the technical difficulties were always the best.
Yes.
So now that's back.
I know.
Oh,
so
That's
fantastic.
the number one earliest rule you learn in radio. And he's like, huh? What? Huh?
Also, I don't know about you, Shuli, but I've done that before where I had a tab open.
Sure.
And because I had the link and I was promoting the link and I still have the link open, and then all of a sudden I start the show and now I'm hearing it back. I panic like a mother.
Yeah.
I start closing everything I can. Just sitting there just like, what's going on? I don't know.
this is everybody's fault except mine.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good.
And we'll figure it out. It's like, no, John, we keep telling you it's out of your end. All right. So this is funny because now they're talking about me, and John starts by saying, "Hey, Kevin, did you hear my take about Carl?" He's like all proud of himself because John looks up to Kevin, as we all know. And so he wants to get Kevin's approval here.
Hey, Kev, though, did you hear my take on Carl?
Yeah, I agreed with you. I said Carl was dumb. I even what Chad said was stupid because Chad said that you should Carl said he was going on Uncle Rico that day to promote he was doing it to promote you and whatever. But I said what he should have done if he was going to go on when he went on the show that day was say, well, I don't want to shit on John because we might do a show together. And that would have been a great way to promote the show you're going to do together. But what I really said is he'll never stand up to Cumia. And if he said to Cumia that he's going to do a show with you, Cumia would be like, are you out of your fucking mind? And that's why, in my opinion, he was never going to do a show with you. Once I saw he was getting cold feet, I knew it had something with Cumia. Cumia doesn't even know. But if Carl said, I'm doing a show with John, Cumia would be like, are you out of your fucking mind? And Carl wouldn't be able to handle that.
No,
I did not get cold feet. It was not me who breached this agreement that John and I had to do a show together on my channel. So I don't know what John told KB. He's obviously misinformed on this, but that's nonsense. Let me play the rest of this clip and then I'll explain why Kevin is retarded on this. This is the worst take. I like KB, but this is dumb.
Kevin, I already I went over that with Carl on the phone. He was like, I don't care. Don't worry about it. I go, yeah, but all these guys are going to hate on you for doing a show with me. He goes, I don't care. Don't worry about it. You know,
He's worried about Cumia. He worships Cumia. And if Cumia didn't approve, he would panic.
All right. That is so dumb. And Kevin knows that because Kevin's worked with Anthony more so than I have. So he knows better than I do that Ant doesn't give a fuck about what anyone does. Anthony is the last guy to give a shit about what anyone is up to at any time. He's doing his own thing. He's happy. He's fine with it. I can't even imagine a scenario where Anthony would be like, Carl, I can't have you on the Anthony Cumia show anymore. You did that thing with Stuttering John. I told you not to. I told you not to.
Yeah, nice try, Cumia cuck. Why don't you get Anthony's dick out of your mouth, bro?
That was such a weird thing. That was like a Stuttering John level take that KB had. It's like, well, Carl just needs Anthony's approval. No, I don't. I don't talk to Anthony very often at all. We have our own thing going on over here. I'm not on Compound Media. I've never have been. What the fuck are you talking about?
I need E-Rock's approval for everything.
Well, that's different. That is different.
Is that just for lunch or dinner too? All right.
Yeah.
Enough. No more fat
Brunch.
jokes, guys. Come on.
So I thought that was really stupid. All right. So here's more of John on me and the Z-Man.
I don't care. Look, Carl, I think he's a nice guy, but he fucking, he had to, he decided the same day, and I called you, the same day that he and I had this great conversation. What does he do? Goes on the show and starts trashing me. Fuck him.
Yeah, that's
Fuck
odd
off,
behavior.
Carl.
No, that makes no sense to me. It makes no sense. It's like, first of all, he could have just told them I can't do the show today. I got plans or something.
And that's the problem. Just don't be disingenuous. Just like
you just did a show with Chad, who said he was getting all these Venmos.
Yeah.
Speaking of disingenuousness, I mean,
Nice.
he's the fucking king of that. Hey, Chad's lawyers. And that's where it started. The whole thing started. Chad said he was going to sue me for defamation. So whenever I said something about Chad, I go, "Hi, Chad. Hi, Chad's lawyers." It all started with that. He literally said, he sent me an email, said, he's going to sue me for defamation. I was like, all right, I can't wait for that. I can't wait for that to go to trial. Fucking hack.
So Kevin has this thought that because I continue to goof on John, I ruin an opportunity to do a show with John. What he's not understanding, and I've said this on John's show today, no one's tuning in for the John and Carl are friends show.
Right.
The fuck's the point of that? What am I just going to spitball with John? We'll riff for a minute or two?
Carl, I know you're friends with him, but don't you think I'm funnier than Shuli?
Because that's the whole point of us doing a show, and John agreed to doing it again today. We'll see what happens. But I'm hoping that John and I can have round 2, pick up from where we left off on Misery Loves Company, because I have a lot of things to talk to him about. I haven't even addressed the fact that he tried to ruin my life. He reached out to Patreon and tried to get my Patreon taken down, which is my main source of income, which is an act of violence. I have not even brought that up to John yet. I can't wait to. So I'm not going to go on there and be like, hey, we're buddies and we're fucking hanging out. It's K&SJ. What's up?
I think what Brennan just did with the Kumia thing, it's like it lends to this air of muddiness with everything, because you're never sure, especially with and I enjoy Chad. I actually like Chad quite a bit. I find him entertaining.
You've said that a number of times. I'm starting to believe you.
I do. I'm not kidding around. I like young Chadwick. But oh fuck, I lost my place again. I'm also an herbalist, Shuli, so my memory isn't what it used to be.
Well, no, you were talking about how muddy it is, and how
yeah,
you were talking about me with Anthony.
Yeah, so it makes it that much more difficult because people are just saying whatever they want, and I guess everyone just accepts it as fact, Right. And I thought until Chad and John, were at odds, I was like, I would love to see a Chad and John show, because you're talking about two pathological liars saying anything they want about anybody they want, going unchecked and uncontested. That's a show I want to see, just so they can say whatever the fuck they feel like. And eventually they get shut down.
Be great, but we never landed on the moon, and then Chad's like, we're on the moon right now. What do you think of that? And it's just they're just bullshitting each other, one-upping the whole time.
That was you brought it up. That was one of the things with Ray DeVito. He's like, you think we landed on the moon? I'm like, holy shit, man! This guy has he has bullet points of all the boring shit that's been talked about a million times already.
Well, the reason why he brought that up is he had Alex Stein on his show, and Alex Stein blew his mind by saying he didn't think that we landed on the moon. And Ray DeVito's so naive, he's just like, that's not what I heard.
At one point, he was just screaming, "That's what I was told." He lost it. He broke him. It was great.
Well, and then I broke Ray because we were talking about how Chad used to call Chrissy and Frank the Clintons of comedy. And Ray's like, what's wrong with that? The Clintons, they were, it was a president. He was great. I'm like, no, the Clintons are fucking terrible people. And I explained it to him. And he's like, oh, I mean, he was a president, though. How can you say that, Carl? Like, this is pretty common. Anyway, here's one more clip that I have from this show. And this is great because Kevin's talking about how he would like to watch the show that John and I do together. And he compares it to a show called The Odd Couple. Might be familiar with it. This gets John way sidetracked because he takes it way too literally.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he gets very confused about this analogy. That
Starts
Kevin
singing
comes
the
up
song.
with. Yeah,
God.
So stupid.
I mean, like you said, it was very fucking, it was dumb for him to do it because you guys could have done one show a week and make a lot of money in Super Chats. It's the fucking classic Odd Couple. You're Oscar, he's fucking Felix. You both got dumped by your wives, and now you're doing a show once a week. And it would have been fucking, I would have watched, I don't watch anything, but I would have watched that show.
What, me and Carl or me and Chad?
No, you and Carl, The Odd Couple.
Carl got dumped by his wife?
No, I'm joking, but that's how that was The Odd Couple.
He
still doesn't get it. Watch.
I didn't even get dumped. I just.
No, I know. I'm kidding, but that's the premise.
No, but
of
you
The
are a
Odd
slob.
Couple. They both got dumped by their wives because they're both fucking difficult. Carl's Felix. He probably has a very tidy apartment. You know what you say about
Piazza.
him. And plus, you had that running gag where you say he's effeminate because the way he drinks, and then.
So,
Can you imagine if Columbo guest starred one day?
Yeah. It's not the Odd Couple. My name's not Felix. My name's John. I keep telling you that.
Is the apartment we live in pet friendly?
That was actually my original point earlier. What was his inability to just argue a point and make sense of it. Like he'll just say shit.
Yeah.
Like his daughter, it's like the food insecurity thing, the homelessness. It's like he tries in the moment to rewrite what we're all seeing. He wants to revise history in the moment. And it's like, dude, no, your daughter said that she suffered from food insecurity. And like we were talking, Carl, you're like, no, it's a food desert. Like it's so just because John's dumb and doesn't understand what food insecurity is, doesn't mean that she should be saying it. And the fucking whoever wrote the article shouldn't be saying it unless she said she suffered from food insecurity, which she probably did.
She says she faced homelessness. And I go, anyone who has parents who love them shouldn't be facing homelessness. Like, yeah, but she didn't want to commute that far. But that's how homelessness works, John. What are you talking about? But she wanted to live with near friends. And there weren't a lot of apartments available. Okay.
That's his MO. Is he's like, he keeps throwing out the same stats over and over again. He keeps bringing up the same stories over and over again. Take it from a guy who does no research. This guy's doing no research. Okay.
When he was talking about, and he said that he's been searched 7 million times. He goes, I got to give Carl credit. He decided to goof on my podcast because he knows how popular I am. Yeah. I've been Googled 7 million times. Anthony Cumia 5 times. Even KB's like, what? How is that even fucking possible? Even people who hate Anthony Cumia, there'd be more than 5 searches on his name. And John's like, nope, I got the screenshots. I can prove it. So he sent those to me. And whatever company, whatever website it was, doesn't even exist anymore. I'm like, I don't think this is real, John. I'll just throw it out there.
If you're being searched 7 million times, you're not hitting up Chad Zumach for $1,200. All right.
Or Opie for 20.
Or Opie for 20 for a 12-pack. Yeah.
He needed $20 from Opie before he would do his show. True story.
Or a Vig from Chud.
Yeah. Where's my Vig?
That was my favorite part of the whole thing is you got to see the real John. That was because, I was going to say this, it's funny on MLC earlier today, Kevin brought up that John wanted him to come on his show today. And Kevin said, are you going to pay me for coming on? Because Kevin paid him $3,000. And John replied, LOL. Well, guess what? Guess what? When he was asking Chad to be his first guest on his Hypocrisy Police, Chad wrote to him, can I get a little bit of cash for this? And he wrote back, LOL. So this is his pattern where he's like, people are in his super chat going, come on my show. And he's like, I'm not doing nothing for free. But the second somebody asks him for money, LOL. Well, the real guy at the end of that video is like, send me $300. Give me 30%. A Vig. That's the guy. That's the guy. Didn't want to pay him, but has no problem sticking his hand in there and taking money out of it.
John did very well today. I wasn't able to watch the whole time, obviously. I was busy, but I was peeking every now and again. And he was doing super chats for 3 hours straight. He must have had his best day ever doing a live stream, I would say.
Is he going back
you
to
were on
teaching?
it.
Yeah, you on it definitely helped, and then Joey C coming on helped because I forget who, but they paid lots of money to get rid of him, so that helped.
Okay.
So yeah.
Can I address the
Bryan,
Joey C thing real fast?
Before you do that, I just want to say this because John is going back to teaching. He is still at the LA Unified School District, and I know that saying this probably has no meaning or weight, but we're not fucking with people in real life. John's going to go back to teaching. He loves his job. The kids love him. Let's not fuck with anything that John's up to in real life. Observe and report. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brian.
No, that's okay. Joey C, like this guy just sort of came out of nowhere. And, I heard him on KB's show. And I think what he needs to do is shut the fuck up. He's loud, obnoxious, and boorish. And nobody's fucking interested in the fucking 70s mob tough guy thing anymore. However, he was Tony the Ant Spilatro's godfather or godson. And he does have mob connections. Rein it in and talk about that shit because that's fascinating. him trying to be a tough guy and like he doesn't like you, Shuli. He has tons of stuff to say about you, but can never like. And that's what I didn't want to turn into. Is one of these guys that like the other day somebody called into Melton and said that okay, I'm just sorry. I'm reading this.
Sorry.
What's my ethnicity?
Yeah,
white.
I have that clip in a second.
Yeah, like somebody called into Melton the other day and he's like, Shuli's a snake. And then Melton's like, well, give me an example of why Shuli's a snake. And then the guy's like, well, I don't have anything off the top of my head. And it's like, and that's like, I'm not a guy who's just going to go and regurgitate Reddit shit, because that, you see that.
I can tell you, Joey C. Now, he claims he was reaching out to me back when I was working on the Stern Show. I don't ever remember him making contact with me. I definitely didn't reach out to him if I was on the news department then, or if I was doing the Whack Pack stuff. I don't recall ever interacting with him. But when I started doing the shows on YouTube, he started, particularly Miserable Men. He sent me a DM, a message on Patreon. And a big long message, and basically it's his story. Him and his wife were arrested, charged with a federal crime. He lost his daughter, blah blah blah, and this horrific, horrible story that I felt terrible about for him. And at the end of it, he's like, "Going on your show will help so much." And it's like, how in this time where you've lost a child and all this, coming on this show is the answer for you. And I kind of was like, what are we supposed to do? He's going to tell us this story and we're not going to make jokes and we can't make jokes. And it's like, this isn't really the show to come on and tell your story. And then we kept kind of in contact for a little while. He got a little upset. Then he was back on the radar and he tried to get on again. And we brought him on. And the one time we brought him on, he was in a Batman mask and he was screaming like a mental patient. He couldn't hear anything. Then another time we had him on, he's in his car with his entire family in the car with him while we bring him in on as a guest on the show. And it's like, now we got to bust this guy's balls in front of his entire family. So we're like, all right, next time, Joey. And he's just and so he went and got my phone number online, started texting me one night out of the blue, knows my house, knows the square footage, he's an out there fucking dude, man. And I've done nothing but just kind of not figure out a way to use him on whatever we were doing. And that apparently upset him a lot. So other than that, I've done
he went
nothing.
on John's show today and he's trying to do that thing where he's using John's old background of the living room thing.
Yeah.
He doesn't actually have a green screen. And so most of him is also getting wiped out and he looks like shit. And even Stuttering John goes, what are you doing, man? You look terrible. It's like, no, I'm doing a thing. It looks great. Like, no, it doesn't look professional, but I'm not going to make fun of Joey C. I don't need that in my life. He's
John goes, you look like a ghost.
Now that John's got a tan, he's all fucking braggadocious over here.
Yeah.
I think if Joey C just did a straight up like, here's my life podcast, like in jail and any mob stuff, even like, I guess people would like the baseball locker room shit, like it seems like he has a lot to say and has led sort of like a colorful life. But the whole like, I want to be on every show and I want to be friends with every host and I'm a loud, obnoxious guy from Brooklyn or wherever the fuck he's from. It's like it's so played out that whole stereotype. It's like decades old.
Joey Diaz already done it.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah.
Joey Diaz.
Yeah, Joey Diaz. Has
yeah.
done it for a long time.
Yeah, but the crime podcast thing, or just crime stories, or just his stories, I think that's a home run idea. He should definitely try that.
Now, I'm going to play a clip.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Brian.
No, go ahead. You guys are going to play a clip.
All right, I'm going to play a clip. Everyone's seen this clip. It's less than 2 days old, but everyone's already seen it. But I have to play it because it's one of the funniest things you'll ever see. This is John on his second ever episode of Hypocrisy Police with Richard Odetta.
And yet they go on his show even after he uses the J word in a derogatory fashion, and yet they still go on the show. I'm a major. Now let me ask you, what's your ethnicity?
What?
Ethnicity. Are you Irish? I don't know.
Hispanic.
The guy's last name is Ojeda, and he goes, "Are you Irish?" That's the part everyone overlooks because he says ethnicity, And then it gets it even worse the second time. I'm like, get this to see. Duh.
I love that he's
J
policing.
word.
Yeah, he's policing everything, and now he's policing my Judaism. He's going,
Yeah.
how can you, as someone born in Israel, go on a racist show that you were on 9 times, according to
I
your
know.
numbers,
I
John?
didn't know. Shuli, I didn't know back then.
It was a different time.
Yeah. He even said, he goes, I didn't know what a pedophile Anthony Cumia was back when I went on the show. I'm like, I mean, how much of a pedophile is he? Hey, you either are or you aren't, right? It's like a goat fucker. I didn't know he was that big of a goat fucker.
We could all agree if Anthony offered him a contract with a nice payment, he's there.
Oh, he thought he had one. He was bragging to everyone, including Artie Lang, who actually got that gig. And I misspoke. Artie's deal was $450 a year, was what Artie made to be the co-host of the Artie and Anthony show, with the stipulation that he show up. So I don't know if he made that money. I don't know. I'm sure if he made
That's
that
tricky.
money.
You got to read the fine print in those contracts.
That is tricky. That is tricky.
John wants to appear so woke all the time, like he's like the J word, which is the first time I've ever heard somebody say
What's
that.
the J word?
I don't know. I don't know.
Can I say that on YouTube? Shuli is a Jew. Can I say that? Is that all right?
No, change it to Shuli's. That's what most anti-Semites do. Go ahead.
But yeah, like he'll on one hand he'll be like the J word, on the other hand he's like, you're effeminate. And another example of him being like, why are you calling Carl gay? Oh, I'm not saying he's gay. It's like, dude, you know what you're saying. You know what guys our age, like when they say you're effeminate, you know what they're fucking saying. Stop playing. Maybe he's not playing dumb. Stop fucking acting. Maybe he's not acting. I don't know. But he's an asshole. He's an asshole.
Brian, let's not forget how that whole thing started. He's like, you don't have any kids. Maybe it's because, and very much implying that I was gay.
Yeah.
Very much. In fact, I think we even had the conversation. I go, John, gay people have kids. You know that, right? It's like, that's not a proof for anything. All right.
Where did it come out of their butthole?
I had kids this morning. All right. This is
go ahead.
one more clip that I have here. This is KB. So as we talked about, John was going to go on Kevin Brennan's YouTube channel and do a show with Adam. And then that didn't happen. But John went on his own channel and was able to get super chats, able to monetize his show again. Good on him. That's great. But this is Kevin Brennan explaining that he's out of the Stuttering John business because they were both, you just saw us playing clips. They're on each other's shows. They're praising each other. Well, I shouldn't say each other. John is very complimentary about Kevin Brennan. Not anymore because this happened. Oh, no. What did I just do with it? I just lost it.
By the time you hear this, Kevin and John are now friends again.
I know.
Just want to keep everybody.
I spoke to him on. This is so exhausting. I spoke to him on Saturday. And he'll say whatever. I spoke to him on Saturday. After the Friday show, and I just said you should do a show with super chats or whatever. So then he was going to do it on our network. So I didn't get a chance to talk to Adam until Sunday.
You said network.
So I talked to Adam until Sunday. So, but John's tweeting, I'm going to do the show on MLC tomorrow, and so I talked to Adam. Adam said he can't do it, So to John, it's just whatever. It's
so John tweeted that he was doing a show on your channel.
No, before that, then I told him Adam's not available tomorrow at 1:00 at all. So
John decides he's going to do a show at 1:00 on their channel, but he needs Adam to run it. Adam's a very busy guy. He does a lot of things. So I was like,
Yeah,
oh, no, I just
Adam
can't
will
make
see
it.
the tweet. Adam will see the tweet.
I know. That's what's so funny is that John doesn't get confirmation. He's putting the cart before the horse. He's just going, everybody check me out. He's putting out these videos from his bed. He's doing all this stuff. And then he's met at Adam after all of this, which is great.
He's like, but then he said, I got annoyed because, first of all, he said that, and the thing that really annoyed me was, he's like, well, just tell me the terms, how much you'll want of the super chats. And I was like, all right, well, let me think about it. Let me talk to Adam. And then he goes, because that's what friends do for each other. I'm like, we're not friends. Like, I'm not friends with any of you fucking losers. Like, you're all fucking losers. Like, I have to exist. It's like being in an orphanage. It's like, I have to exist in this world, but you're all losers. So, but he's saying like, we're friends. So the fact that even if John thought we were friends, that means nothing to me. So then yesterday he calls me and I go, we can't do Monday. And then he wants to use my channel. And I'm like already nervous about him using my channel. And then I said, well, he goes, why don't you have me on tomorrow on your show? I go, we already got 2 guests. I want to bump them. And I'm like, Brian, we've been waiting months to get Brian on. And then he goes, well, how about Wednesday? No, I say, how about Wednesday? And he goes, well, you're going to have to give me a cut of your super chats. I was like,
my God.
motherfucker, I gave you $3,000 and you want to use my channel? You want to use my channel to get money. But if you do my show, I got to give you a percentage of the super chats. It's like, dude. And then I'm watching Kumia and everybody last night, everyone's like, Stuttering John, like everything's a one-way street with him. He's always like, oh, just worried about what he can get out of you and give nothing back. And I was like, that's what he's doing to me. I already gave him $3,000. That's a fact, $3,000. And now he wants to use my channel to get super chats. And if he can't use the channel and I have him as a guest, he wants more super chats. And I was like, what? Are you fucking kidding? And then when I saw he got trolled by Tony Mazer and Chad I was like, yeah, I'm out of that business. Because
he thinks he's like a big celebrity.
No, I'm gonna look like a fucking. I mean, I got nothing to gain. Like if he's a guest, I got to give him super chats. But then if he did use my channel, he'd be like, whatever I offered him, he'd be like, that's too much. I can't give you that much. I can't give you that much. I can't get. So it's like, fuck this. It's like, I'm already killing it, Brian Regan. I'm already killing it. I don't need Stuttering John, just like I don't need Opie. Hello, 2004.
Is this a roundabout way of
losers?
Is this a roundabout way of telling me I'm not getting any super chats?
Whatever.
Right. So the reference that he made there, and I'm sorry we didn't get to our Opie segment today. There's too much going on. But the reference that he made there is that Opie said on his stream, he goes, Kevin keeps sending me the link. You don't send me the link. I send you the link, is what Opie said to Kevin Brennan indirectly, but kind of directly on his show. And that's why Kevin was like, this isn't 2004 anymore. Like, Opie, I don't know who you think you are. You're not a part of this at all. You're an ancillary character. You had Chad Zubak on your show, and Cardiff's great on there. Don't get me wrong. I like Dookie. But no one cares about what Opie's talking. No one's going on their shows going, you won't believe the bombshell dropped on Opie's stream today. Holy shit, this is nuts. We got to watch this. I'm the only one keeping Opie alive, for Christ's sake. I don't see him on BS show.
Well, I heard him the other day. He was talking about he was talking. Oh fuck! I keep losing my train of thought. I don't know what's wrong with me today,
Yes,
man.
shit.
And I'm even on my new fucking ADD meds, and it's still not working.
Right.
Like I get this thought, and then I'm listening to you guys, and I lose my thought.
Oh, you're listening to what I have to say.
I do have. Well, there was a super chat earlier. Can I address Shuli again? I think we got to hash this out all together.
Okay.
I don't know how much time you got.
All right,
Shuli.
Yes.
I feel like you don't know how to take a loss. Like as a viewer, as a person who observes this kind of stuff, and what I do on our show is like keep it real in terms of like this didn't go well. We fucked this up. Like I told KB and Bob the other day, we on Tell 'em Steve Dave, we did a live show very early on. We fucked it up. We bombed hard, like bad. And we brought the file back. And for the next 3 episodes, we went over it and picked apart everything that we did wrong, everything that sucked. We laughed at ourselves, all that kind of shit.
Houston.
And I feel like people at the Shuli, this is just I feel like people at the Shuli network, like especially Bob too, like it's always like everybody's always killing it. Everybody's always fucking destroying everybody. The numbers are always up. The fucking subscriptions are always up. The gifted memberships are always up. It's like there's never any like, well, this didn't go well. And I think that would make, for me anyway, this is just all me, more relatable. And that's like why when I used to listen to Stern, like way back when, I wasn't an OG Washington guy, but I did listen to him on NBC. And it's like he was able to put that out there. Like this, here's where I fucking lost. Here's why I won. Now, this is before he became a fucking stretched out grandma's vagina, as he is presently. But I, as far as we knew, he was being real and he was being relatable. And I feel like when I first started watching Uncle Rico, because I wanted to give it a chance. I just felt, I was like, these guys are just like, again, what I said originally was like a little bit of like this cockiness and this smugness, which you said was confidence. I read it as, especially with, I don't know, it's tough now because like when with John back,
yeah,
I'm like, he is such a piece of shit and he fucking deserves everything fucking Shuli gave him. It's tough. It's tough, like, because you forget like what a garbage person John really is.
Let me just interject, and Shu, I'll let you answer that. But I don't know if it was a question, but I'll let you respond. I guess
That's just my observation. You know, he can
Yeah,
comment if he wants.
But that's the thing that annoys me about Opie, and I've been documenting this for years, is that Opie's like this too, where he's constantly talking about things are going good, management loves what we're doing, the numbers are great. And I saw him start a podcast at number 2 on iTunes and then drop off the charts and continue to tell us the numbers are great. You won't believe how good we're doing. And when people say that over and over again, I start to think, I think he might be lying about this. But anyway, Sheila, go ahead.
Well, listen, at times in life, absolutely. I've learned the hard way how to not take an L, you can say. You know, it's something, I mean, going back to the Stern Fan Network message boards, like there's lessons that I've learned throughout the years being on that, you know, same people that hate me for leaving the Stern Show hated me when I was on the Stern Show. So it's like I've dealt with a lot of that. And I think part of it is you have to be confident in yourself. You have to believe in your capabilities, and that way, you know, you go into it with the right frame of mind. I've been a glass half empty guy most of my life. Later years, I'm a glass half full guy. I go into anything with a positive outlook. And
the
believe
Holocaust
me,
will do that to you, by the way.
you know what? From every darkness, there is light, Carl. Okay.
Listen,
Thank you.
I'm a glass half full kind of guy. I don't have to tell you which side I was on, but keep going.
Yeah, I mean, look, every day I wake up, I go, at least I'm not in the Holocaust. That's a glass half full type of thought. You know, the network, from what it was, I mean, you talk about taking an L. Nobody was watching the Shuli show when I was doing it. You know, I was trying my best. I wasn't enjoying it. I didn't like it as much as working with my friends. We started doing Miserable Men. Nobody was watching that. We did Uncle Rico. All of a sudden, people started watching. And from there, everything started growing. The reality is this thing got to a point where people could make money off of it maybe 4 months ago, 5 months ago. The rest of it, you know, Pottstown, you talk about taking an L. I mean, I bent over.
But it seemed like with Pottstown, if I could interject real fast, it seemed like there was this need to act like it wasn't an L. Like it did seem like, I mean, the sound in the beginning, which is like a tech thing. I was at a show in New York. It was fucking embarrassing, bro.
and there's
I know
no
what you're talking about.
Yeah, and there's no way around that, and you have to address it. And not only that, but it's there. People are live streaming it onto Reddit and I mean onto Facebook and whatever the fuck, recording it. Listen, there's no way out of that. There's no way that we could sit there and none of us sat there and said, what a fucking perfect show we put on.
You know, maybe it's because I see Bob more. Like I don't really see you that much except in clips, you know, or in Carl's show. But I see Bob on MLC, and Bob is the ultimate like smoother over. You know, like he just wants everything, and you get it. It's like, if anybody's like, why doesn't Bob ditch Shuli, or why doesn't Bob ditch KB? It's like, because he's making money. Like, why the fuck would he? It doesn't make any sense.
It's all fun too. Bob will tell you, like, what's a better job than busting balls all day long on the internet? It's a pretty good gig.
And Bob will be the first to tell you that he lost all those things because of how bad shit got, and how we were friends for years, but he almost, you know, cost me my job at Sirius when he exited and how he exited. And I had to stop doing shows with him, and I had to stop talking to him because he lost his mind, you know? I mean, I think at times, you know, people want us to fail so bad. And I don't listen. There's people that I'm not fans of. I don't wish for them to fail. To each his own. I always say there's plenty of internet for everybody to make money off of. But I'd be lying if I said we're not doing great. And because of the support from people, it's not anything you know, I mean, it's just people showing up, digging what we're doing. And as far as Rico stuff versus the other stuff we're doing better numbers on BS than we're doing on some of the Rico episodes. we did last Sunday. We had 2,000 live viewers for the first time ever.
It's because I was there. I know.
Of course.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I was happy to promote that. No, Shuli, you guys are killing it now. And I don't think that's what Brian's point is, but I understand what you mean by that. It's like if so many people rooting against you, it's hard to be like, yeah, you guys are right. We suck. You know, that's not a good angle to take either. I understand that.
Yeah, it's
no, that's not what I'm suggesting.
I know. I understand. So
we're terrible. Come listen to us.
Let me address this real quick because Joey C gave us a $5 super chat. I haven't been reading super chats, but Joey.C was part of the discussion today. So I'll read this. I would like to talk to all of you and make a public apology to Mr. Shuli. I don't hate him. Put yourself in my shoes, what I have lost the past 2 years. Is that the real Joey C, do you think?
I mean, it could be. You never really know. And
yeah, Mr. Shuli's odd that he calls you Mr.
Shuli's odd, but I feel like there's not a lot of errors, which tells me that his wife may have written this because Joey.
I didn't say that, Joey. Listen, we're
no,
friends.
I'm not saying that as a negative. I'm just saying she's involved with his career. She's his producer. So, but yeah, listen, Joey, you're more than welcome. Don't call me. I think this apology is coming off the fact that Kevin is quite upset with Joey right now because he texted Kevin last night. So
yes, I heard about that. He was not.
Yeah. You're looking for John's number or something.
He texted me for Kevin's number 3 weeks ago.
I saw that KB had a good point. He's like, "What fucking world do you think I live in? Where I'm just going to give away people's phone numbers?"
Yeah,
it's bizarre.
All the shit Kevin talks about me, he hates me, this, that, and the other. I would never give his number out. Now, I know Calta gave his number out, but I did not give his number out, and I wouldn't, especially not to Joey C.
All right, guys, you have been awesome today. Thank you for spending the time with us. I'm really glad we got to hash all this out because, as I said, I'm friends with Shuli. I'm friends with Brian. I want it to all come together. This is supposed to be comedy. It's not supposed to be drama. I don't do a drama show. I know today it got a little nuts. I told you it's going to be a little different format for us today. But, we're going to get back to our usual ways. I didn't get to Opie today. We'll save it for next time. I know.
We're going to do a fun show. Fun show from here on out, Carl. All right.
Anyway, Shuli, thank you so much for coming on. People should check out the Shuli Network on YouTube. That seems to be the main thing you're doing. The BS show every morning, and you are pulling some big numbers over there. There's a lot going on. I've been glued to it lately.
Well, we have a big get tomorrow. I don't know if you want to pop in for this, but from the legal world, Vince the lawyer going to be popping on tomorrow. Do you?
I'm out of the Vince the lawyer business. I don't.
Do you want me to ask any particular questions to him because I want to figure out what the fuck that was about.
I made it very clear to him that what he did was fucked up. Sharing a message that I sent to you and him and putting that on the internet. I don't know in what world he thinks that's okay to do. I have zero trust in him. I'll never talk to him again because I don't want my personal shit getting put on the internet. I don't care what I don't care if it's just me saying, "Hey Vince, you're looking buff, buddy. Keep working out." I don't care what it is. I don't want it on the fucking internet. It's for him, not for Reddit.
Well, he can't believe he goes, "Is he really upset with me?" That's what he asked me.
Yes. Yeah. So maybe Vince doesn't fucking understand this because in his world, he's just like playing la-di-da. I get to hang out with High Pitch Eric and I'm part of the fucking Howard Stern show. But I get legit fucking threats to me. And people finding out where I live and shit is a problem. My wife doesn't like it. I don't like it. So the fact that Vince is just playing around with like, la-di-da, look at this fucking text that Carl sent me. And he thinks it's all fun and games. It's not. It's not, Vince. Anyway. That's fine.
Could I say one more thing to Shuli before we leave?
God damn it, Brian! I mean,
this could potentially be a good thing. I don't know if it would be on the Shuli Network or the Carl Network, but I would like to see you guys team up to take down that fuckstick steel toe. If you guys could just do that for me, Carl, you want to.
Where are you with steel toe, Shuli? Where are you at with that?
We played a clip today of him talking about being choked out at a wedding by a friend, and his defense was to put his arms out and go to the ground. That's what he goes. I knew if I went to the ground, he would look terrible, and people would be like, "Are you okay?" And it's like, yeah, okay.
I saw that. You're deflecting though. Where are you at with Aaron Imhold?
Well, I'm sorry. I will be out because I am paying him to teach me radio classes on the side. So I don't want to trash him too hard, but yeah.
Don't pay him for boxing lessons.
He's one of those dudes that like dips his toe in the water, and then when it gets too hot, he starts screaming about, why'd you put my foot in there? And it's like, you put your foot in there. Nobody else did. You know. Right. I like his wife. I think his wife's a badass. I like her.
She seems tougher than he does. Like she's out there roofing and fucking catching fish and sheep milk and all kinds of crap.
Any woman that puts deer urine on her voluntarily, that's a winner. That's a keeper,
She could probably cut the tags off those cushions and milk a cow in the same day.
If I had a cow, I'd immediately send her a plane ticket. But the tags are already off. I did it. I fucking accomplished
On the fourth chair, Brian's like, what was I doing again?
Yeah, exactly.
I do have to say, it seems like everyone on the internet has a crush on April. Even Melton. I mean, Bryan came on here, wants to make her a sister wife. There's a thing going on with April. They like to tease her. Oh, look at her forehead. But meanwhile, everyone has a crush on her. You can tell.
Her forehead is not enough. It's just not enough.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Like somebody like me can be
Brian.
like, well, you're pretty hot, but the forehead, I don't know.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna say that to her.
Yeah. Take it from Nothing But Forehead show today. You're fine.
Not a deal breaker. Not a deal breaker in my book.
You imagine if one of us was like, what, her fucking forehead's disgusting. Can you imagine the balls on any of us?
Yeah. That's why when Melton was like zooming in on her, I'm like, Patrick, I mean, you'd be so excited this girl talked to you. Are you kidding me? No offense to Melton, but I'm sure he's very happily married. So Shuli, thank you so much for coming on. Brian Johnson from Tell Him Steve Dave. Thank you
Carl.
very much for coming on. This has been a blast. I always like talking to you.
It's fun.
Tell him
if I can remember what I'm saying, it's fun.
I'll fill in the blanks for you. That's fine. I'll fill it in. Another thing he hates about you, Shuli, is
I was glad to get Reddit a little bit before, and people like eviscerate Shuli and all this other shit. But I'm like, again, that's not me. Like even with Bob, it's like I was even with MLC. I was like, I don't hate Shuli. I don't know Shuli. I can dislike some of the stuff that he does. Just like, look, I'm in that same position. People tell me I suck all the time.
Yeah. You hear that, Shuli's Anonymous? Let's get them. Come on.
You're going to have to go over to TESD Cares. That's where they really fucking deliver the goods.
Brian's Anonymous.
Yeah. I see that starting up later on today.
All right,
hey, it was very nice meeting you for the first time, Brian. It was good talking to you. I hope you come on some shows over at the network. We'd love to have you. Thanks for speaking your mind. And I hope we can move forward and be pals.
Well, likewise. And for anybody who has a problem with that, look, this is the world where you can fucking hate somebody 1 minute, and the next day you're like, hey, you want to be my best man at a wedding?
Right. Right. So fuck off, everybody. KB. That's what he was saying. No, I'm kidding. Thank you for having me, boys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Carl.
Great job today, fellas. Thank you very much for popping on.
Yep. Take it easy, boys.
See you. All right. So we got a couple more things to get to. I am going to bring the potato up because I know he's got a show coming up. He's got to get to.
Yes. Whoa. It's in 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
Surfing with a special huge WATP guest tonight.
That's right.
At 8 o'clock. Make sure you come on over.
You're going to want to come over and check that out for sure. Cardiff, I have a couple of song parodies that I want to play that came in recently that I think are very fun because I've been asking for Patty C-Cup songs, but what I've been getting lately is Stuttering John songs because everyone's very excited about that.
It's timely.
And yeah, how could you blame people for doing that? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the beginning of this song. I sent it back to him and I said, you realize that the music and the lyrics are completely out of sync, right? He goes, they are? So listen to what he sent me, and then he sent me a fixed version, but listen to this first. This is called Boogers on His Face to Riders on the Storm.
Boogers on his face. Boogers on his face.
I don't think he's heard the song before.
Dripping from his nose.
Okay.
Did Christian Blatt send that to you?
Yeah, I know. So I'm like, that's way off, man. Let's see if we can fix
There's
that.
a lot of people that don't like the Doors that would say it doesn't fucking matter.
It does matter,
Yeah.
trust me. So this is take 2, and I'm going to say it's not much better. That's why I wanted to play that one first. He's like, oh, now I listened back. Now I hear what you're saying, Carl. All right, I got this. Brian DeWald sent this in. Thank you, Brian.
On his face. Boogers on his face. Stripping from his nose. And on his lip it goes. He's a man without a home, so his mom takes out a blow. On his grave. You know water's never free.
Oh, Patty!
My brain is hurting when he speaks. I think he's gonna say that Carl's probably gay. And this podcast that he made surely gonna fade, 'cause water's never free. Yeah. Man, I hate their fucking face. Man, I hate their fucking face. Now Patty's just insane. No matter what his name.
You're really sucking the life
They're
out of a pretty
annoying
lively
as
show.
can be, but John is worth the scene.
You're right.
Got boogers on his face.
Don't worry, there's only 12 more minutes.
Yeah.
We just got a piano solo, then we'll come back to it.
Boogers on his face. Boogers on his face. John is a disgrace. With boogers on his face.
All right. Thank you, Brian DeWald. Very good job. Boogers on his face. Very
Lyrically good.
Very funny. Okay.
Rhythmically, take 3.
Brandon from Shitty Song of the Week has been contributing a lot lately, and I appreciate that. This is a song called The Dabbler.
I am the dabbler, and I drink when I drive. I keep my kids out the public eye. Nigger chases going up in the sky. I really wish that Artie died. Hypocrisy police on the rise. I am the dabbler, and my kid is trans. My kids still won't talk to me. One of them lives in poverty, learning Spanish so they notice me. What's food insecurity? You're a bald-headed fuck, Shuli, saying, I really thought that we could be friends. I did.
All right. Thank you, Brandon, from Shitty Song of the Week. I have one more song. This is not about Stuttering John. This is from Mr. Magenta. And this is a parody of This Corrosion by Sisters of Mercy. And this might play into what's happening later tonight.
Hey now, now. Bring back Corrosion to me. Hey now. Back on WBTP. Hey now. Bring back Corrosion to me. Hey now. Love that yelling man.
Bring back Crozier from Mr. Magenta. Thank you very much. Great song submissions, everyone. Brian DeWalt said I tried, LOL. You did, buddy. I appreciate it. I enjoyed it. I had fun. All right. We have to catch an alien.
Yes.
In order to do that, I have to bring Annie onto the stream to help our chances. And
Are
because
you
we like
ready?
talking to
Hello.
Annie.
To
Hi,
catch
Annie.
My newest.
How's it going today, everyone?
My newest moderator.
Great.
She doesn't even know she's been
Really?
upgraded to a moderator on the Cardiff Electric YouTube channel. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't know. I guess they were saying that Patrick Michael was watching us over on MLC. I don't know if they still are watching us. Probably not. I would imagine they're like, "What is this nonsense?" They turned this off. But maybe he came over here. How are things going with Patty's live streams, Annie?
They've been going pretty well lately. He's started to do a sort of more structured live stream where he sets up a video and he kind of plays it and then pauses and does commentary on it. It's been like kind of spooky stories and supernatural things. The last time it was aliens and basically people like shadow people that were hiding across the street. It all seemed pretty staged, but you know, that's kind of the nature of these.
That sounds awesome. I love when he does stuff like that. Speaking of aliens.
Yes.
Carter's like, can we move this along? I got shit to do tonight.
Subreddit surfing, 8 p.m. Eastern time.
All right.
On Subreddit surfing YouTube. Big guest.
All right. Big guest tonight on Subreddit surfing. We heard you.
Huge.
You better get your hopes up.
This fucking potato.
It's Fusillo Chevrolet. Huge.
This potato's being a real fucking potato. Whoa, that was a
It's
Western New York reference just there.
Yeah.
Watch out for this guy.
Time for everyone's favorite game show. To catch a dabbler.
Oh! I wasn't ready for that.
Uh-huh.
BetOnline.ag. And I made, well, first of all, I lost on, I bet the Yankees for yesterday's game, and I bet Aaron Judge would hit a home run. And unfortunately, the Yankees lost, and Judge didn't get a home run. But I'm.
What did John say next?
Can I just make a comment, Cardiff?
Yes.
Why don't you pick a newer episode? He's doing tons of content right now.
I know, but that's all fresh in people's minds. That would
Oh,
have been
that's
a little
true.
harder.
Yeah. All
This
right,
is
good
all.
point.
This is all content that's been brought back to us.
Okay, good point. All right. Yeah, that's right. He's putting us all back up on his YouTube channel.
Yes.
You can find old beer on the balconies and shit. Yeah, that's awesome. All right.
I miss him. Number 1. Good money drives bad. B. Double downing. Next. In for pennies and pounds. 4. Rolling dices on Judge. Lastly, betting on the farm tonight to catch a dabbler.
Oh my gosh, this is difficult. I'm going to go with 4 rolling dices on Judge. I should know this because I kind of remember, but I don't remember this at all. So that's what I'm going to say. Trucker Andy, what do you think?
Double downing.
Double downing. Someone in the
B.
chat, yeah, Electric Head Gino also says that. Let's go over to Annie.
I'm going to go with next, pennies and pounds.
All right. And producer Chris, what do you got?
Lastly, betting on the farm.
Okay. So we have everything covered except for good money drives
Yeah,
bad.
That sounds too smart for John to say.
It sounds dumb, but okay.
He does go to the pub a lot.
Even go. BetOnline.ag. And I made, well, first of all, I lost on, I bet the Yankees for yesterday's game, and I bet Aaron Judge would hit a home run. And unfortunately, the Yankees lost, and Judge didn't get a home run. But I'm double downing. Now I'm going to
double downing.
I bet today on BetOnline.ag that both Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton will hit a home run. So we'll see.
That's a dumb bet. So you won that, Andy?
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations, Trucker Andy, and everyone who had double downing.
See what happens. And I know that Joe from Jersey will have plenty to say about
Oh.
that. You were at the game yesterday, huh, Joe?
Yeah, it's been crazy.
And it's so great because you know, a frequent guest on the show is, I stutter on ours, Joe, is Ron Filipkowski.
Mm-hmm.
And said, oh, I'm having Joe, you know, on my first show. And I'm like, oh, wow, I follow her. I go,
Hopefully off a
you know,
cliff.
I love that
Yeah.
girl. It's great. And then he's like, oh, yeah. I go, well, God, ask her to come on my show, will you? And he goes, yeah, I will. I will.
Yeah, and because
Kind of stepped
I'm,
over the bit.
some guy sent me a dick pic years ago.
Did I fuck it up?
A little bit, but it's fine.
Cardiff, you want me to back it up? I'm
How long
sorry.
till he asks her to get a beer with him?
You know, a frequent guest on the show is, I stutter on ours, Joe, is Ron Filipkowski.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, oh, I'm having Joe, you know, on my first show. And I'm like, oh, wow, I follow her. I go, you know, I love that girl. It's great. And then he's like, oh, yeah. I go, well, God, ask her to come on my show, will you? And he goes, yeah, I will. I will.
Yeah, and because some guy sent me a dick pic years ago, I closed my DMs. Such a literal asshole move. My brother died. I put up a tweet.
Notice how quickly That's she all got for the this dick time. pic vibes, though. from
Yeah,
John.
you're right. She's like, yeah, well, creeps like you, I try to avoid on there. And she goes, he sent me a dick pic, which is literally an asshole. No, it's a different area. I mean, it's close.
Come back next time to find out if you. I can't even do it. I'm just so happy. He's back.
It is exciting
to catch a dabbler. Tune into Subreddit Surfing tonight for a special huge guest.
Tom is excited about it.
Can't believe it.
That's all very exciting. Now, Annie, I don't know if you have any reviews to read. We're obviously running a little bit long here. I have some voicemails. I want to read through the super chats that people put in. Very generous super chats today, which I appreciate. And thanks, guys, for understanding. I didn't want to bog down the show proper with those. But Annie, what do you have? What did you bring?
I don't have anything new, but I do have 2 really old reviews if you want to hear those.
Love it. Let's hear some old reviews.
One star.
Cardiff's bringing out some old shit. You got some old shit. Let's do it.
The first one's from Tim from CLE, July 13th, 2017. It's titled The Real Trash. These guys are talentless clowns. No one cares about your opinion of people that actually have talent. Do a show on your own terrible podcast.
I have twice, just so you know. So this is before I think I was telling people to give us shitty reviews. If I'm not mistaken. I'm going to guess that's a 1-star review.
That one is a 1-star review.
Good job, Annie.
Good job, Annie.
And then I got one more. It's from Manny W, August 21st, 2018.
Okay.
It's what in the Jesus Christ, what did I get myself into? I guess it's better than being addicted to crack, but not quite as good as alcohol. I guess you take what you can get.
That sounds like a 5-star review if I had to guess.
That is a 5-star review.
Thank you, Annie. I appreciate that.
If you guys don't want to hear old reviews, then you should start leaving new reviews.
Yes, please go wherever you review podcasts and give us a 5-star. Shit on us. We have a review girls read them at the end of each episode. Sometimes the potato does, but usually it's a review girl. And also, guys, we do have memberships on our YouTube. If you want to sign up for a membership, you can do that by hitting the join button. And that way you get the bonus episodes we do. And you can also watch these live shows that we do every Wednesday and Saturday. This was a special free one that I wanted to do because we had Shuli and Brian on to have that debate. And I wanted to do that with a large live audience. So thanks everyone for hanging out for that. I much appreciate it. I'm going to read through the super chats, but first let me just hit the voicemails that came in. We'll get through these very quickly here.
Hey, Carl, I got a suggestion for whichever week this happens to be Cringe of the Week. It's the entire episode, number 345 of Here's What I Don't Get, where Tab, the audio expert, audio professional, his audio is just popping and clicking, completely unlistenable shit for the entire episode.
All right, I'll check that out. I was like goofing on Tab. I have no problem with that. Thank you for that suggestion.
People love hearing bad audio.
Andy, this is a critique of your show.
Right. Okay.
The All Apologies podcast, where you can get wherever you get your podcasts. Andy does a great show with Joe Sixpack. And what they do is they document all the famous apologies over the years.
Yeah.
We just did crossover this week with Colleen.
Yeah. Everybody was talking about it. We had to do that. We just did Michael Vick.
Why? What did he ever do?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did.
All right.
He was a great quarterback.
This is an interesting critique because I was listening to the show just the other day, this episode. I didn't think the same thing, but he brings up a good point here.
Okay, great.
Hey, this one's for Trucker Andy because I don't think All Apologies has voicemail. But I was just listening to the Tiger Woods episode, and dude, you played a Steel Panther song in an episode of Tiger Woods, and it wasn't just like Tiger Woods by Steel Panther.
Right, that's true.
What the fuck are you thinking, dude? They have a whole song about Tiger Woods' dick, and you played Community Property.
I mean, it worked in the context better, but that is true. There's an entire song about Tiger
I didn't know
Woods.
that. I mean, Joe produces his own clips.
Oh, blame it on Joe. Blame it on Joe.
Fucking
Okay.
producers. Oh,
Fair enough.
Good call.
All right.
Thank you.
Keith in Montana. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Carl. It's Keith in Montana. So, yeah, I know you have no control over what ads that you get on the dynamic ad placement. However, I do know that it's you who decides where they go. So at the end of a Blondcast, you say, all right, to make up for it, then I get an ad placement. You know, I don't know. I don't know how that's supposed to make up for it, but although it was kind of a palate cleanser from the listening to dumb retards talk about a show that maybe had one episode premise, but, you know, what are you going to do? Anyway. Bye, I guess. I don't know how to end these.
Yeah, I don't plan where the ad breaks are going to be ahead of time. Maybe I should get better with that. Maybe I should be more like Glenn Beck.
Yeah, right.
Hey, Carl, love the show. Quick thing. It's called Perra. Perra. Fucking John is always using Perra with like an R, with one R. And what he's saying is, Shuli es mi perra. That means Shuli is my pear, as in the fruit. Fucking asshole thinks he's Latino, but he can't even speak Spanish. Nah. We denounced him as Latino, as part of the Latino community. We denounced this fucking retard, stuttering piece of shit. Also, since he doesn't roll his R's, just say puta. Shuli eres mi puta. That would sound better. But yeah, thank you. Fuck you. Bye.
Well, I hope John's still listening. Those are valid critiques. Cardiff is distracting everyone.
Yeah. Not everybody can roll their R's like Cardiff.
That's true. He's pretty good at that. That's growing up in Minnesota. That's what you learn, obviously. This is a question about Tukey, who Tukey killed it on the last episode, Cardiff. Even you have to admit, he was fantastic.
He killed
on
comedy.
Podcast. I mean, the way that I saw is he leaped over the potato to become one of the greatest characters ever.
Listen, the fact that Dr. Steve is texting me Tukey lines now is really starting to annoy me.
Oh, yes. I love it.
Carl, Tukey is Jason Kaplan. You can admit it. Don't lie. You don't like to lie. And don't call me back.
Sir, I don't know where you're getting Jason Kaplan from. He's never said anything funny in his life. Tukey's hilarious. So I disagree. Tukey was fantastic on the show. We'll have him back again soon.
They are both on Nutrisystem, though.
Well, is that true?
Fun fact.
You know what about Tukey, considering you don't like the guy. It's weird how that works. All right. Gary in San Diego calling in.
Hey, Carl, Gary from San Diego.
Hi, Gary.
I was sitting here having some coffee with Judy, and she says, what's Carl's background? And I said, gee, I don't know. That name Hamburger, I don't know. So let me ask you a question. What's your ethnicity? What is your ethnicity, Carl? Can you answer that question? We'd really like to know. So would Sandy, and so would my good friend Stuart. We all want to know your ethnicity. Thank you.
German and Dutch is my ethnicity. Thank you for asking. All right. He's got, he calls in
Did you
again.
get any of the Dutch?
Hey, Carl, Gary in San Diego. Well, as of last Saturday, which would have been the 8th, July 8th, John had two friends who were still acting as co-hosts for his podcast.
Right.
Kevin Brennan and Chad Zumach. And as of Monday, the 10th, they're no longer potential co-hosts. I heard Kevin say he's out of the Stuttering John business. And Chad has burned that bridge too. So I guess nobody's left except for Army Major Richard Ojeda. Oh, John has really known how to burn some bridges. So, am I right on that? Is there anybody left
I think you're right.
that will be a co-host for John?
I co-hosted today. I was
Anyway,
a guest.
let me know if I missed anybody.
Okay.
I'm trying to keep tab, but so far I'm down to 0. Okay, Gary out.
Gary out. He's got a sign off now.
Billy Tucker Dixon's.
I gotta
sign-off.
say, one of the greatest things about John coming back to the internet is Gary from San Diego calling in regularly again. I appreciate that.
Just getting caught up on some past episodes, and I really appreciated you doing the rundown on the different news girls that you've had over the last few years, and leaving Cardiff out because Cardiff is, of course, not a girl, so he can't be a news girl.
True.
Review.
Let me repeat that.
Review, right.
If you're not a girl, you can't be a news girl
Review girl, right.
Yes.
or a review girl.
Okay.
Okay.
Annie, you look like you think that there's a hidden message in there or something.
I think it's probably a hidden message. Yes.
I think it was just calling out Cardiff.
Most likely, yeah.
That's what I meant.
Yes. That's what I was thinking too.
A lot of potato
All right.
hate.
You are going to love this next voicemail, Cardiff. Listen closely here.
Carl,
Tukey
my boy.
suicide note?
Where in the hell?
It's no.
Oh.
Tukey's our friend. What are you talking? So
Oh.
you can't use that word on YouTube. What are you doing?
Oh, oops.
Okay.
Carl, my boy. Where in the hell have you been hiding this puppet all this time? Look, you need to take some advice from me. Drop the starch out of the show's diet. Get rid of that smug fucking potato. More Tukey, please. All right. Don't call me back.
I got to say, every day I wake up, every message I'm getting, more Tukey, more Tukey, more Tukey. It's unbelievable. It's overwhelming right now, Cardiff.
Oh.
The amount of Tukey love that's
Slap a
pouring in.
bra on Tukey. You could be the next review girl.
Oh my
Glad-
gosh. Everyone's job is up for grabs now.
Glad I leaked your address on Reddit.
You wouldn't do me like Vince the Warrior did. You wouldn't do me like that. All right. What last voicemail, and then I'll read the super chats.
Hey, it's Sergio from Providence. Carl, just calling to tell you what a big winner you are. The podcast wars of 2023 are in full force. Bob Levy was just fighting with Kevin Brennan today. Kevin Brennan and Stuttering John are fighting. Like, everyone's pissed off at each other, and you get to sit back there and just watch and reap all the rewards and the content and dissect it like only you could do. Such a big winner, Carl. Bye.
I'm glad I left myself that voicemail because I agree with everything that gentleman had to say. I am the winner of the Podcast Wars 2023. There's no doubt about that. All right. I'm going to read through. We got some super chats here. Anyone who wants to bail is allowed to bail. Cardiff, you got one more plug in you?
Subreddit surfing, 8 o'clock. Huge guest. Jump on
Huge
over.
guest.
Just
20
jump
minutes.
on over there now.
All right. Annie, thank you so much for joining us and for hanging out. How was the show today? It was a different format. What'd you think?
I think it was pretty good. It was nice to have Bryan and Shuli on, kind of hash out the beef. The drama around the show is getting too big almost to handle. Now I have to go watch John's show today to see your appearance on there. It's
still
a
up.
lot to follow.
I know it is. And that's why I tell people, go to our subreddit, go to Dabblers Anonymous, go to the Hackverse Anonymous subreddit. That's where people are kind of helping us follow all of this along because you can't watch all this.
Well,
stuff.
it's crazy because I'm watching John and Chad, and I'm just delighted at watching Stuttering John make a fool of himself. Meanwhile, Shuli's show is got like a whole panel of people sniping it, way more funny. I was like, all right, well, now I got to watch all this too. It's fucking 6 hours of my life.
I know it's too much, but it is a lot of fun.
Oh, it's
I
great.
agree with you, Annie. It's getting to be the universe is expanding at a constant rate, but that's why these subreddits exist. And you can go on there. People pull clips and they tell you what's going on and they give you their opinions. And everyone's opinion on the internet's a pretty good one. So that's good.
They all matter.
Nice was $20. My man, Carl, I love WAATP.
Yay, super chats.
Dead Fool says, we're doing it. Nice with a $20 super sticker. Nice. CMOS 4044. This guy always supports who are these socials too. €5. Happy Super Chat Wednesday. Carl will read my super chat. Just go daily with the show already, Carl. You're almost there now anyway. Yeah, fuck that. No way. KB Public Defender. So Carl is a bicycle thief. Oh gosh, let me address this real quick. I know we're late into the show, but John asked me if I've ever been arrested before. And I went, yeah, I have actually. And he goes, oh, well, what was it? I was a teenager and it involved a stolen bike. I didn't elaborate any more than that because I'm boring. Basically what happened was I had these woods behind my house when I grew up. And a guy I knew stole a bike from the village, from town. I sound like I'm growing up in fucking Little House on the Prairie world, but so, you know, in the town.
It was a penny farthing bike.
They stole a bike. They put it in my woods for some reason because they were hiding it, I guess. Well, there was a guy across the street who used to sell us drugs, and he wanted to trade the bike for drugs. And I went, yes. I mean, the bike's just here. So here, take it. That idiot rides the bike the next day, and the owner sees it. He's like, hey, that's my bike. And then he blows me in. So anyway, that's why I got it. It was a misdemeanor.
Did you get to keep the drugs?
Yes. And I did community service, and it was annoying. That's my whole story. I think I was
heard this story.
I was 16 or 17 when that happened. Chef Jeff became a YouTube member. Thank you very much, Chef Jeff. Chris Holm. Oh, Skinny Chad Zumak. Hee ha ha. The hamburger cackle. I don't know whose side you're on anymore, Skinny Chad Zumak. Thought we were boys. That's for $10. Thank you very much. Soft 17, $5. Carl said Shuli and Brian come on at 6. Yes, thank you for that, because people were ready to snipe it at 5. And it's like, well, we're just going to do a regular episode at first, but whatever. This is coming in from Tactic something. $7 Canadian. Huge fan from Canada. I weep for public school education in California. Producer Chris is underrated, by the way. Oh, well, he has his fans. He certainly has his fans. Drunk on Cringe. Here is 5 Deutschmark, so Andy and Chris don't have to share a webcam in the future. I'll tell you the reason for that.
Working on it.
No. It's because we were going to have on other guests, and I just didn't want to get it too jumbled on the screen. So I thought one camera for the two of those guys would make more sense. But I love Drunk on Cringe. DrunkOnCringe.com. I just discovered yesterday. Yeah, when I was on Ray DeVito's show. Some great t-shirts on there. I'm going to buy a few of them. So check out drunkoncringe.com if you're part of the Dabbleverse or Hackverse and you want to check. You want to wear it proudly. Painkiller, $2. I hope Vinny stubs his toe hard. Me too. An asshole. Noel Harding, $5. Colleen can solve all her legal troubles with blackface. I agree. That's pretty good advice. Lee Canonis, $2. Tom Meyer's comedy is greater than the Tampa Chords is greater than Tukey. Not a Tukey fan. Not a Tukey fan. All right. Teach their own. I come buckets with $2. I can come to this. I hope you did. Daryl Hall's Private Eye. Sup, dudes. $2. Sup. Nasty Al. I put this up on the screen for a while. Thank you, Nasty Al. $100. I'm prepaying for the entertainment tonight. It's going to be good. He's been all over the place lately. Of course, Nasty Al's the guy sitting in the front row at Chad Zumak's show who yelled out to him, it's Kumia country. And Chad's like, how do you know that? What's this all about? So Nasty Al's great. We had him on the show. Bob Levy, king of all swallows, with €5. Join late, SJ on MLC, trying to catch up. Listening to Colleen at 2X, not a good idea. Yeah, I mean, Colleen's not good, but really Trisha was the problem at 2X. She talks fast. Detective Bluer, $5. I looked up Slam Pig on Wikipedia, and it just sent me to Trisha's OnlyFans. Yeah. Oldie but a goodie, sir. Bob Levy, king of all swallows, another €2. SJ said Carl is two-faced, impossible, 4-smile talker. I'm not sure how that math works, but I agree. I do a lot of stuff with 2 hands with $2. Tony Michaels is an American treasure. Watch it. Oh, no, I might have said something bad about him. Peg Like Biker is a new member. Thank you very much. David Chandler. Show is brought to you by David Chandler today. We love David. I do a lot with 2 hands. $5. Rat from Rochester is trashing our slobbering saint. What say you, rat? Hey, rat. Turbo 1227, $2. I Turbo 7049 will kill you. Okay. I don't understand those two turbos and what they're up to. Bob Levy, King of All Swallows, another €2. Welcome to the Shuli Empire. Yes, they're renaming the Shuli Network the Shuli Empire now. Dun, 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 dun. Anthony with $2. Painkiller with $2. Legit biker gangs are not fond of being props. Yeah, they also don't like being called gangs, I've noticed. Also kind of a bad thing. Bob Levy, King of All Swallows, €2. Tukey loves you more than a friend. Hashtag Z for Grifter. Oh, yeah, it's a great song. Z is for Grifter. Tukey song he sings when he's watching the Z, man. Captain Cannabis with $2. Hi, John's lawyer. Everyone that claims they have a lawyer watching cannot afford an attorney. You might have one appointed to you, but you cannot afford an attorney. So silly. Steve became a member. Thank you very much. Altcoin Angel, $2. That's one hell of a podcast appearance pitch. Sorry, I didn't read that in time to make sense in the context. Looko $5. Brian, please don't fall for the dues payers schmoozing. He's a talentless snake in the grass. You are better than this. I thought Brian did a good job today. He wasn't kissing up to him. He let him know what his problems were.
It's a little too high.
And honestly, yeah, maybe. But honestly, I think that a lot of people will come around on Shuli a little bit just because of everything that's been happening now. Stuttering John coming back, the way that Shuli and the crew is covering all of this. They're doing a fantastic job on the BS show every morning. So the John redemption arc is a redemption arc for all of us.
The jokes are there with Shuli.
Yes.
I mean, you don't have to like the guy, but he's gonna get some good ones in there.
He swings the bat a lot, as I like to say. Mm-hmm. Not the highest batting average in the world, but he's swinging that bat. He's not going to walk. That's for sure. Nice with another $50. Shuli, you said he was a pedophile. What the fuck, you hack? All right. Bob Levy, King of All Swallows, another €2. The Melendez scale of success. Peter O'Brien with $5. Andy, all apologies is terrific. Hope your new career works out.
Thank you, Peter.
That's awesome. Thank you, Peter.
We're not monetizing it all yet.
Yeah, but you got to start somewhere, buddy. Looko 5 again, $5. No, Brian, no. Shuli's a bald and funny hack who cheats on his wife. Do not make friends. I think I put that up on the screen for a minute. I was distracting people with some of the super chats. Bob's Fly Baby, $5. I am real, Shuli. No, you're not. Bob's Fly Baby is not real. Bob Levy, King of All Swallows, €2. Chad was laughing his ass off coming on SJ's HP.
We laughed our asses off.
Very good. Altcoin Angel, $5. Women as hot as Shuli's wife don't marry nerds. Shuli is a badass. Chad's stream epically backfired. I don't know what Shuli's wife looks like. I'm friends with Shuli and I have no idea. Painkiller, $2. Bryan posing as wizard telling Shuli how to stand. Well, he's not posing as a wizard, sir. He just has a long beard. I don't think he claims to have magical spells or anything. Bob Levy of All Swallows, King of All Swallows, €2. Dope Stradamus envisions where the fight is going. Okay. Big Daddy Dodo, $5. Shuli, when are we going to see the Uncle Rico show and Hypocrisy Police North American tour? I would go to that. I might follow that like it's the dead. I might follow that around.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We're doing it.
We're doing it. I'm making grilled cheese sandwiches in the parking lot. Who wants a grilled cheese sandwich and mushrooms? LOS, Legion of Skanks. I don't know. Maybe $2. This is where the level heads of Dabbleverse meet. Yes, it is. We don't shout here. We have a good time. We're all friends. Bob Levy, King of All Swallows, €2. Super Chat Monday and Wood Panel Wednesday. Wood Panel Wednesday. I like that. Yeah. That sounds good. Altcoin Angel, $2. What's stronger, John's comedy or Hebrew? Good question. They're both pretty bad. Bob's Fly Baby, $5. Carl, with your last name, why aren't you doing Wendy's and Rustic Cuts commercials? I know, I'm Hamburger. You would think they would take advantage of that. I'm putting it out there. I will endorse you, Wendy's. Painkiller, $5. Everybody should cater to Brian's quirks and preferences, is what he's saying. Get over yourself, bootleg Gandalf the Grey. I don't know about that. A lot of people think that he's a wizard now. He's never claimed to be a
He
wizard.
was under a spell, but
Yeah, you're right. Bob Levy, king of all swallows, again with another €2. This guy wants to spend like 15 euros, but just 2 at a time. SJ is a disgusting drunk, and Shuli is a backpack. Oh, Shuli has a backpack. That's correct. He does. I've seen it. Underscore Ted with $5. Oh, no effects fan. Me too. Brian, you said Shuli can't take an L. He's always killing it. Shuli, every time someone has a problem with you, you call them anti-Semitic. Hi, Adam and KB. I think Brian did address that. So thank you for putting that out there. I put it up. Reels with $5. Brian, what's your ethnicity? I guess we'll have to find that out next time. Nice. WATP is Rishi. $20. Thank you, nice. Well, how should I have read that? Do you know? Probably the shit.
Yeah.
Probably that's a typo. Okay. Bob's Fly Baby. Why is Carl so angry? I'm having a great day, sir. Thank you. Thank you for asking. Bob Levy, king of all swallows, another €2. KB does not get trashing someone you work with. I don't know what KB gets. I don't know what he's up to. He's a funny guy, though. I like him. Cardiff Electric. Oh, I think I already maybe put this one up there, but Cardiff Electric said both SJ and Patty are in MLC chat. Watch you get sniped. Also, now that BJ has gone on the record, he isn't a kid toucher. Can he still work at Compound? I get your jokes. Cardiff Electric. Boss Fly Baby. $2. Brian better do the BS show tomorrow. He won't. No, instead they have Vince the attorney. I don't have to tune in for that one. Don't care. Daniel Poon, $5. Even as wet brain as John is, he didn't fall for Nick G. When I tried it today, I saw that. And you stuck it in between other names too. That was clever. That was a good try. Get him next time. Bob Levy, king of all swallows, €2. Is KB losing it about people burying the hatchet? Yes, he's not happy about that. He wants everyone to be fighting. Terry Nee, the bird, $5. I'm older than Brian, and he seems to be 80 in podcast desires. Let Ray be Ray. Let Joey C be Ray. Okay. It's clever. All right. This guy again, €2. Brian, pretend something is annoying you on your seat. Yeah, we did get to that. That was fun. Painkiller, $2. Listen to Brian. He's the godfather of nothing. Look 05. Hey, Nostradamus, stop kissing the dues payers. Took us. You talked smack for weeks. Be a man, not a coward. I don't think he was a coward today. I think he brought it. Joey C. We talked about that one. Bob Levy, king of all swallows, another €2. Brian, pretend something is in your eye. I guess that happened twice. Deadfool, $20. You got producer Chris Cardiff. Oh, he's predicting who the guest was going to be on subreddit surfing tonight, which starts in 4 minutes. Gotta go. You can use my studio. It's fine. And then Look 05. Hey, BJ, you're dead to Shuli's Anonymous. Oh, yeah. He is. He goes there and he reads. He never really participates, but no, they're not going to like him after this. Black Eyed Sue, $5. Thank you very much. Bob Levy, king of all swallows, €2 at Cardiff. You got the Kroger Empire. Very possible. Flex 316 with 2, it looks like Australian dollars. Poutine. Aaron Bowling with $2. Cardiff, why do you hate on Tukey? That's a great question. I think it's jealousy, if I had to guess. Nelson's TAS and Game Archive, $2. Cooking you a local segment for you, WATS. Oh, for WATS. Kiss hugs. Looking forward to that. Thank you very much. Brian DeWald. By the way, Homer is wrong. Music is not easy. Yeah, that's a good Homer Simpson's quote. Brian had a tough time lining those things up. And I appreciate the effort, though. Thank you for sending in parody songs, even if you suck at it. I Come Buckets. Listen, PJ Filliams still most prolific parody song guy. I mean, there's Tony Muskrat, there's Mr. Magenta, there's a lot.
That makes it funnier.
But PJ Filliams could not sing a fucking note, and we played everything he said, and it was all fantastic. I miss PJ. I Come Buckets, $2. My dogs count as children. Hashtag not a piazza. Hashtag Carl is gay. These are internet rumors. Steve C, $5. You're a feminine piazza. Love you, Carla. All right. My name is not Carla, and it is with a K. I think I mentioned today that I'm German. All right. I did it.
Wow.
I read all the super chats.
All right, now do it again.
Okay, let's start from the top. Now let's analyze these, shall we? Guys, this has been fantastic. What a fun episode. Thank you both for hanging out for so long. Thank you, Annie.
Great job, everyone.
Great job.
Great job.
Yes, very good. Everybody go over to Subreddit Surfing with Cardiff, my buddy Vinny Paulino. See what they're up to over there.
Okay, bye. What's with the dancing around the shit? I stink. You hate me. Great. Goodbye.
Go fuck yourselves. Have a good week.
Okay, folks.
Guess what?
This
The
is
episode's over.
That was a great episode. That was really great.
Okay, bye.